Yeah, no, you know what?
The people who have a ringtone
That's an old timey phone.
That's my.
ring. Oh, like it's died. Like
Yeah, like something's going down.
Yeah.
That is a weird ringtone.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a
Yeah, I have
really
old
weird
phone.
ringtone. You have old phone.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Does Mabel
called
is
classic.
Mabel on the other end? What phone number?
That's it.
I don't know. My phone's on silent all the time. I never, unless I'm expecting a phone call, my phone's on silent constantly.
I don't talk to anyone on the phone.
Yeah, I've got it down, man.
Yeah.
I don't. If 99% of the people that call me, I don't want to talk to.
Well, it's either like a scam call, right? It's a
Right.
scam call, or a solicitation by a real company, or someone you probably don't want to talk
Right,
to.
or one of my asshole friends who needs something.
It's all political now. The last 2 weeks, it's insane. Text messages now.
Oh yeah, I get some of those.
Yeah,
Like
I
3 a
don't-
day.
I mean, like delete and report as junk.
That's
I mean,
what I do. I delete
yeah.
report as junk.
Yeah, it's just like Kamala Harris needs your help.
well, after
and,
I
you know,
donate.
Well,
After-
yeah. How about this? We take a 2-week hiatus,
yeah.
okay? And I want you to think about this. In the 2 weeks that we don't record, here's what happens: Donald Trump gets shot, try to assassinate him.
Yeah,
Joe Biden quits,
yeah.
and Kamala Harris
Yeah.
is
Kamala.
the new
The
Kamala?
presumptive Kamala, the presumptive
sorry,
new nominee.
sorry.
Yeah.
is the new nominee, the Democratic
She's
nominee.
not presumptive nominee.
It's
She
Ted.
is
It's
a
done. Nobody else is going to do it.
No, she just got the nomination.
Yeah.
But here's the funny
The
thing.
delegates. For
What's
the
funny?
nomination.
Well, actually, it's still technically be an open convention. I mean, she's got the support, and they're saying that if someone that tries to run against her to primary her, it would be political suicide. So she hasn't like locked it up
So,
yet. She
so
has like
won't-
half.
the
She has like
Secret
half the
Service will
delegates.
not be involved in any death that they might have.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. So, I know we talk without going into the politics. We talk about like, oh, someone's trying to steal democracy, or democracy is going to end. But let's look at what's happening on their side. Kamala Harris wasn't elected to the Senate. She was appointed to the Senate by Gavin Newsom because Dianne Feinstein, who was 150 years old, passed away. Okay, so she was appointed. She was appointed to be the vice president, and now she was just kind of slotted in. But I'm just saying, nobody voted for her. She wasn't
So
voted
what?
for. Yeah. Well, isn't that the whole definition of like it's not Democrat, it's not a democratic process?
Now, if she gets elected president, people will vote for her.
Right.
So she
But
can't
it's
get
not
nominated.
an election. It's a
Right.
party thing. It has nothing to do with you and I.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, but they decided who was going to be.
We decide.
No, you didn't decide.
Yeah, we will decide in November.
Right, but Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Obama decided who they're going to appoint after Biden dropped out. The people weren't given a chance to have a say in
Who's
that.
the people?
You people,
The people within the party.
us,
Yeah,
us people.
Yeah,
Ted,
well,
Ted,
it's not us. It's a party.
It's a special thing
Oh,
that's
it's
happening.
special. Oh, it's special. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, are you? I mean, you know what? I'm kind of getting tired of all these people shitbagging what's going on. So it's a weird case. It's a 1 in a million case.
It's unusual.
right? I mean, the last time this happened was when,
Lyndon Johnson.
way
dropped
back
out.
Yeah,
It's been like
yeah,
whatever,
So-
68 or
so
something.
she's the vice president. It makes sense that she would be there, and
Right.
if people don't want her there, they won't vote for her.
True that. I agree. I agree.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you care who it is? You're not
No,
going
I
to
don't.
vote for her
No,
anyway.
I don't care who it is. But the point is that one side keeps screaming about democracy is being stolen, but they're not really giving the people a choice as to who their nominee
They
could be.
didn't have the opportunity to do that.
Right.
There's no time to do it.
Right.
So
But by that logic, shouldn't Joe Biden resign from the presidency if he's not
Why?
fit? Well, if he's not fit to run for another
no,
4 years.
he doesn't feel like he can run. He doesn't feel like he can do another 4 years. Why would he resign?
Well, because I think the consensus is that there's been a massive. I mean, it's obviously plain as day for people who can see, but it's obviously clear that he's in such decline that he's probably not making any decisions. It's probably like some type of shadow government making decisions.
It's not a see.
Right?
This is where you use everybody uses
it's not
these
a- it's not a
bullshit
conspiracy-
words.
it's not a conspiracy,
But when
so.
you say shadow government, listen, it's not like he wakes up every day, the president of the United States.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, except when Trump was president.
Yeah.
and just does whatever he wants to or whatever she
Yeah,
wants to
right.
at whatever point. He doesn't wake up and say, "Let's see, I'm making gas prices higher today. I'm letting everyone in on the border." No more law and order. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing. The president doesn't get to wake up and decide shit. It's a consensus anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the point is, I guess it's been exposed that the president isn't actually as important as we think he is, right? Or she is, because obviously there's an apparatus already in place.
We all knew that.
So whether the president's there or not,
Ted,
someone's making decisions anyway.
Only the small-minded people in America think that the president has something to do with gas prices.
Right.
That she, whatever, decides to not let people in or let people in on the border, that they automatically, because a certain person is president, groceries are more expensive. It's a ridiculous concept.
To Ted's point, though, that's why it's so important to elect a person to this position that has the wherewithal to delegate certain responsibilities to people who are capable of fulfilling those responsibilities and even more, rather than nepotism, like putting your retarded son in charge of this or your fucking spoiled daughter in charge of this and your fucking retarded son-in-law, excuse the R word, I'm using it right now,
It's
and
just a word.
and his fucking son-in-law to do this and this person to do this and this and this. It was a shit show. And then all those people, well, except for his family, have gone. Stone's in jail. Bannon's in jail. This guy's in jail. They don't know what they're doing. They're breaking every law in the book because they're doing things they think they know how to do, and they don't know how to do it. That's why it's important.
Can't argue
so
that.
to Ted's point, you're right. I mean, part of the most important job the president has is picking his cabinet and putting people in position to make decisions that he can't micromanage and make. So you have to put trust in the officials. And that's why it's scary to me when Trump's in office, because he just starts handing out positions to people like Bannon and Stone and his son-in-law and his daughter, and it's crazy. It's
I
crazy to
agree.
think about that.
No, but just going back what you were saying before, we need more than two choices between the Democrats and Republicans because they've made the rules so hard. Obviously, they make the rules. The man with the gold makes the rules, right? So they make it so hard for anybody else to break through to be a candidate. Like, for example, RFK Jr. couldn't even get on stage with Trump and Biden because he didn't, quote unquote, qualify.
Oh, I think he didn't, quote unquote, get the worm out of his head and he didn't know where to go. I think he was on a stage. So during the presidential debate, RFK was on a stage. It was just several thousand miles away. No one was there.
Yeah.
And the only question he asked was, what about the worm?
Can we get off politics?
Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's get on this. Saturday, we had a blast. We went to the Joliet Hot Sauce Expo.
Oh, yeah.
And met in person one of our former guests, Vic Klinko.
That was a first, right?
Yeah.
The first we actually met a guest that was on our show in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, except for the ones that were here in person.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't count. Well,
You remember them, Ted? Someone was sitting right next to you.
God, it was so long ago.
And Ed Curry from Puckerbutt
Oh, yeah.
Hot Sauce, who invented, I came up with, who grew the Reaper Pepper and now Pepper X.
Yeah.
That's his.
And-
That's his. Those are his babies.
And so here he is. So this guy, Ed Curry, and he's got an interesting story, right? He was he was a former drug addict, right? He
had some, issues.
He had some issues. But so he's there. You got to hear the story. It's interesting. Mark sent me the thing. We can post it online on our website, and you can hear the story of him. But he's sitting there eating a cookie, a chocolate chip cookie, right?
On Saturday, he
On
was.
Saturday.
It's probably got THC in it, but go ahead.
No. It's made with some pepper extract, and then so Vic is there. Puckerbutt's selling all these extracts, and the hottest extract.
Which we have. He gave us some of that on the show.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was
stupid hot.
That was stupid hot. So I start messing with him. I'm like, oh, what are you eating? And Ed says, oh, I'm eating a cookie. And I go, what kind of cookie? Oh, it's got this. I go, so it's got hot sauce in the cookie. He goes, yeah. I go, okay, cool. He goes, but I can make it hotter.
Yeah.
He walks over to the extract, not the actual sauce, the extract, and he puts a giant dollop onto this chocolate chip cookie and takes a huge bite. I'm telling you, I ate the Pepper X sauce. I put it in a little spoon.
Yeah.
Man, I thought I was going to die for it.
Yeah, you and I both did. It lasted
Yeah.
for a long time.
That lasted for a long time. People ask me when we were walking around to all the different things. I had it, and I'm walking around with after I had the sauce, and people are going, "Hey, man, are you okay?" They were literally like, "I was like, I'm not okay, man." It was
I bought a bottle of that.
the Pepper X.
Yeah, that sauce that we had.
Why?
So, I actually enjoyed it. I could tolerate it in batches. I'm going to put it in my salsas and stuff, like a tablespoon of it goes a long way. Actually, that's probably too much. but
yeah, like a teaspoon. And
teaspoon, yeah, well, maybe even less.
and nobody's going to believe this, but I think Ted bought more hot sauces than we did.
Yeah, all of the mild variety. I think I bought like about 10 bottles, and it was pretty good. You know,
I
just-
got like 7 in a salsa and in a powder.
Yeah, I think Jack and I bought almost a dozen. And
I have no room. I have so much stuff that I've made and stuff that I've purchased, and I don't know. I have a shelf and a half now in
Yeah.
my fridge.
Well, I got
It's
that
not-
flat iron pepper, those flakes that you sent me.
flakes,
that thing.
yeah.
So I got like 8 of them. I got the hot sauces. I mean, I don't even
stocked
eat
up.
enough
You're
to.
stocked up, yeah.
I'm going to eat more. I'm going to get good and fat and take a lot of dumps.
Well, eating hot stuff is good for you because it I think it's
Cleans your
speeds
pipe-
up your metabolism.
cleans
I
out your
think
pipes.
you burn some calories, believe it or not, when it's hot like that.
That's what they
Your
say.
body's, yeah.
They say it's good for you. I don't know. All right.
How was your BM
My,
the next day?
they were intense.
Hot?
Can a bum movie be spicy?
Did you have to take your shirt off before you
Yeah,
used it?
dude.
Like that intense?
I mean, I do anyway. I put the fan on. I take my shirt off. I got a nice book.
I was reading a Dear Abby thing a long time ago, and it says, lady was complete. She goes, my husband's really good. He only does one thing that really bothers me. Every time he takes a dump, he takes to take his shirt off. Well, you just gotta, you just need to get,
When you send a
situated,
letter like that to
anchored,
Dear Abby,
yeah.
what is she going to tell you?
Yeah.
And by the way, how would you even know that your husband takes his shirt off when he takes a shit? The door's closed. I hope. And if it's not,
Well,
that's the thing. That's my wife won't. That's it. He's writing to Dear Abby. My wife won't let me take a shit with the door closed, and it really bothers me. So I've been taking my shirt off to make her stop, but she still does it.
So actually, this happened to me a couple of weeks ago. I was at work, and
Oh, my God.
I had to use the bathroom. So I went into a stall, and usually, you kind of take a look to see if there's somebody there. But it just didn't look like anybody was there because it was kind of like a deeper stall. So I just push on the door, and the door's open, and there's a dude there. And we made eye contact with each other, and just for that few seconds, that awkward moment where I'm like, I'm just looking at him, and he's looking at me. And
It was a coworker. Or you don't know who?
no,
he
I
was?
didn't know the guy. Thankfully, and but you could tell.
Ooh,
like,
almost lost power right
yeah,
there.
too.
We are going to lose power.
Oh, because there's storms outside. So wait a minute. You were at work,
Yeah, I
and
had to go use the bathroom.
then the guy didn't close the door.
He closed the door, but it wasn't locked.
Okay, and he's sitting down.
Oh, he's already in full whatever he's doing mode in that. So I pushed
So
the door
Ted,
open, and and we
Ted,
make eye contact.
He did that on purpose. He wanted.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that likes
Well, it
people to
worked.
watch him take a
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, I wasn't like shocked.
I don't know what it's called.
Coprophasiac. I don't know what it is either.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. I've gone.
Well, coprophagia is someone who likes to just eat their own shit.
Yeah, I've left places that
Ugh.
where I want to take a dump and they don't have a lockable door.
Yeah.
I've left.
Yeah.
When we were when the kids were younger, I probably shouldn't tell this story.
Nah, go ahead. What the
We're all friends here.
My youngest, they're 22 months apart. So I don't know, they were probably like 2 and 4 or 3 and 5, something like that. And we used to take them out maybe like once or twice a week, go get, dinner somewhere, usually casual restaurants or like, a pub or something like in the neighborhood or something like that. They were so well behaved. They were just incredible. And they ate like normal. Like they didn't order off the kid menu from like 4 or 5 on. It was great. So we go a
So
lot.
wait, I'll take the shrimp scampi.
Filet mignon.
And
Oh, they would
can
get full on. I mean, it was. Nolan would order at like 5 years old. He was ordering salmon that wasn't on the menu at a restaurant that we know. He was getting salmon Florentine because they
So
had
he was already a pain in the ass.
they had it on special. Well, no, they made it. It's not hard to make it. They have it's a real kitchen. So most restaurants, if it's a real kitchen, they can make whatever
Did
you
you have to?
want.
Did you have to buy my
So
Maserati
he-
for his
so-
16th birthday?
So my youngest, wherever we went, man, it doesn't matter if it was, he always had the number 2. So one of us always had to go to the bathroom. It was unbelievable. And I told him, I think you've shit in every restaurant in our neighborhood and then outside the neighborhood, wherever we went. If we were in Minnesota, same thing.
All right, so
So you marked his territory everywhere.
That was like his. I mean, that was
Yeah,
like
it was his MO.
his cue.
we're at Jack's birthday was just like a week and a half ago. Okay, so we're at Hubbard's Cave having some barbecue, and I get there. I just get off of work. I get there real fast. I'm
That's
a
not
little
true.
late. What? It's real.
No,
What's?
we were with you.
Oh, we were golfing.
Yeah,
Oh, we were golfing.
you left.
I knew I was at
Oh,
the
then
golf
you had to
course.
leave.
Okay,
Yeah,
I knew I was
yeah.
at the golf course.
you made it
Okay.
look like you were a working man.
Oh yeah, no, we're
Just got off work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Well,
work
that's-
because I
that's kinda-
beat your ass on
was-
the course.
Wow. I mean, anyway, it was kind of like a job anyway.
all right. So I show up. I got to go take a piss. So I walk over. I walk into the bathroom, and there's a guy and his daughter in the bathroom, right in the stall, and they go to the bathroom. No big deal, right? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything to me. They're in the stall. So I walk up to the urinal, and this guy yells, Debbie, I need you to take Jocelyn to the bathroom. And this woman, his wife, walks in the guy's toilet.
Walks in the men's room.
Walks in the men's room with the little girl.
She didn't know you were in there. He should
Oh,
have said.
nope. She didn't even hesitate.
That's not the point.
Wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't get to walk into the guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big
Imagine if you did that, you'd be in jail.
deal, right? So she just walks in, and they trade kids. So he opens up the thing, and like nothing's going on. Like nothing is going on. She takes that one girl. She gives him the other girl. She goes to the bathroom. I guess and then he takes that the wife takes, and they're the best part is they're just talking. They're just talking. Like I'm not there with my dick in my hand. Yeah, in a public bathroom, and so
At the sink.
and so I'm like I zip up and
Why is
and
your
I turn
dick
to
in the
her.
sink?
Yeah, I turn to her, and I still gotta go like this. I go. I'm gonna leave. I go. When you guys are done, I go. I'm gonna be sitting down. Can you just wave to me, and I'll come back. I'll know you guys are all finished with the toilet. I don't want to get in your way. And I walk away, and as I'm doing it, I can hear the guy go like this. He goes, "Dick." He dicked me because his wife and him had 2 kids in there, and they couldn't leave the
two
bathroom.
girls.
Just
I
oblivious.
don't care. I mean, they were little kids. They were like 6 and 5.
Yeah, but the point is, if they're both female, you would have the mother take them to the women's bathroom. Just common sense, right?
I mean, if he's already got one, what's she gonna do? They switched kids to go to the bathroom. It's still just a bathroom. The kid could have shit.
So
and done
is this
anything.
bathroom talk? Can I? Ted, do you have a bathroom story?
No, but I'm gonna.
Oh,
just,
you already told. You
I'm gonna-
started off with a
I'm
bathroom
gonna extrapolate
story.
it for a second. So, but that's the same. That's the same couple that when you get on an airplane, they were going to be sitting in your seat, and then when you say, "Sir, excuse me, you're sitting in my seat," they're like, "Oh, well, we just want to sit with our family. You can go sit in our seat." And like, "No, this is my seat because I paid for
Right.
it." And then they get up and they're the ones, and then they say "dick" under their
Dick.
breath. Yeah, that you're a dick. So
Yeah.
those are the same people. So
Well,
by
then
the
they
way.
post
Yeah, so
online. Post online. What an asshole!
Yeah.
Wouldn't let me sit by my own daughter.
1-star Yelp review. Yeah.
My bathroom story is at
So it is
At
toilet talk.
Old County Stadium where the Brewers used to play.
Oh yeah.
The old stadium. So we used to go up there a couple times a year, and there was the bathrooms just had urinals, I mean, just long, like 10, 15 in a row. And it was an old stadium. It was old.
Was it like the one long urinal where it's
No,
like,
it wasn't a trough.
separate-
There were
oh, yeah,
urinals.
okay.
So you wait in line to get in there, and you get in, and this guy walked in, and if you could picture like a big guy from Milwaukee, from Wisconsin, right? He had overalls on.
Of course he did.
He was
Huge beer belly.
No, dude, he was like 7 foot tall if he was 6 foot tall. He was a monster, and he weighed like 400 pounds. He was a monster. I mean, you couldn't stand next to him. He was taking up 2 urinals. And so I was next. My buddy Donnie was at one urinal, and a urinal next to him opened, and this guy was in front of me. And I remember he was in front of me the whole time in line. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy's a monster. He's huge. And so the urinal opens up next to Donnie, and the guy squeezes in there, and he drops trowel, his overalls, the 2 buttons, boom, all the way to the ground. Underwear all the way down. He's standing there butt naked, pissing at the urinal. So when you walk in, all you see is this monster of a man's entire backside naked.
Dude, that's pretty
His
weird.
overalls were down at the ground.
I did
think
see a guy like
I
that
think
one time.
I think he wasn't all.
Yeah, he was probably like Lenny
Well,
from
he's from
Mice and
Wisconsin.
Men.
and it's a baseball
I'm
game.
painting that picture, but
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Yeah,
He's probably just drunk.
No, I don't. When he no
and disorderly.
no I don't think he was. But anyway, it was so funny because he was so big, and then Donnie's next to him.
Can't really. I saw a guy. I think like
Before camera phones, by the way. Not that I would have used one in that situation.
I want to say my work.
No camera phones in the toilet.
I want to say my work building.
Nobody
I,
else
I
did
saw a
it.
guy years ago. Yeah, he was at the urinal, but his pants were all the way down to his ankles. He just instead
Taking a
of
piss like
taking
Butters.
a piss. Yeah, I think his underwear might have been up too. So I mean, I didn't stick around long enough. Obviously, there was something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
Dude,
so,
I-
obviously.
I can't do this, man. I can't. We're gonna have some toilet talk later.
We need sound effects.
I want to get one of those sound effects
Start
things.
start toilet talk with the flush.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that.
Now, what about the people who like stay in the bathroom for long periods of time just to like maybe avoid working? Like they just go to
That
the
was me.
bathroom and they sit sit in the
It's
stall.
not, Ted, it's just that we're reading or playing on our phone.
They're vaping. Their phone.
That is one of my favorite things when you go into the bathroom and some guy's sitting in the stall and he's obviously smoking or vaping or something. And he's just like, yeah, I'm getting away with this. It's like, oh, you're going to get in trouble, dude. You know you are. All right, let me do this. This is the Real 3 Idiots podcast. And happy National Chemical Romance Day. You guys familiar with Chemical Romance?
I know the band My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a punk rock band. Their first album, and this is what I thought about this. Their first album was, this is the title of it, I brought you my bullets. You brought me your love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that awesome? So I wanted to play one of the songs that I thought this song was awesome. We all know this song. Ted, are you not? Is this not something you've heard before?
I've never heard that song.
Yeah, it's really
kinda-
cool,
kinda
man.
catchy.
It's really cool. I can't. It's off the Black Parade album. I didn't.
Where's this coming from? What do you
So I just found it that today is National My Chemical Romance Day.
for the band?
Yeah, for the band.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fine.
so all their, I guess it's a pretty big punk rock band, and their fans got together and made this the day. So July 23rd is Chemical Romance, My Chemical Romance Day.
Okay. There we
Yeah,
go.
so celebrate, listen to some punk rock. Yeah, it's pretty cool shit.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see. We have a Ted's tip. Mark, what do you have today? A poem or a song?
Yeah, a poem.
Ooh, I like a poem. Okay. Ted, before we get to your tip, you have no idea what it is.
None. So you're just going to read it to me for the first time. I'll take it
Okay.
that way.
You know what? I feel bad for the
It's
people.
not a tip.
It's a tall tail. They need it.
Tall
they need a
tail,
lie.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a tall. See, I
They
didn't know
need a
that.
lie.
I didn't even know it was a tall tail.
I sent it to you.
Okay.
You need a better phone.
I
Throw
couldn't
your
see it. I couldn't see it.
I sent it to you in clear picture. I
No,
didn't
it
want-
was. In all fairness, it was bad. It was hard for me to read too.
but you
It
couldn't.
was a screenshot of the screen, and
yeah,
it was
but
like. But if you have the patience of a pterosaurus, then you're not going to read it.
something shiny. What?
That's exactly what I'm. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Ted, can you get us a tall tale today? Can you come up with a lie for us?
I'll try. I'll do
Well,
the best
actually,
I can.
for Rick, Carrie, and Rick,
Carrie and Rick. Okay. Where are they from?
they're
where
from
they're
Huntington, West Virginia.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought they were just from Virginia. West Virginia, hell no. If they were from Virginia, yes. No, okay, I'll try.
What? Why? Are you
there's-
discriminating
Well,
against
there's-
Virginia
there's
and West Virginia?
Why isn't there an East Virginia?
I-
Doesn't make any
I
sense.
feel like you
There
were about
was-
to
And
say
it's on- and
something
it's on- and
bad
it's on
about
the-
West
and it's on
Virginia.
the East Coast.
Wasn't there in East Virginia?
I think
It
it
was
got
Virginia.
I think it got sucked up and they made it Montana.
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama, take me home, country.
Is there still coal mining? Is there still coal mining there?
Yes.
According to Donald Trump, there's tons of it,
All right.
and it's the greatest thing in the whole world. All right, Mark, will you poem us up, please?
Yeah. It lies below. Ted lies above. It has no show. Ted likes to blow smoke up your ass. Whether it be tips or fibs, who else can you trust? Ted's voice is soft like dust. Close your eyes and imagine this lie. Here comes Ted, just in time.
Oh man,
He's slick.
that is deep. And this is NPR. All right, it's time for Ted's Tips, or today, Ted's Tall Tales. Please be advised that Ted's Tips should never be attempted by anyone ever, period. Okay? Don't do this. Don't do this. It's too hard. Yeah, Ted's a professional. I know it doesn't seem like it, but he's a professional. Okay? So no advice. If somebody asks you for their advice, just say, send it to Ted. All right? All right, Ted, my wife and I need a tall tale, and we are desperate. Which is exactly what I figure. If they're asking you, they're desperate.
They're at the end of the line.
That is the definition
Of desperate.
desperation.
Yeah, if you actually, his full name is Theodore, and if you mix up the letters, it spells desperation.
Desperation to ask Ted something.
Yes.
So it's like going to a pawn shop. It's like your last stop. Like if you're in Vegas and you go to a pawn shop to,
Yeah.
that means you're desperate.
Except nobody's pawning with you.
No.
They're just cashing out. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
They're not coming back.
no. If they pawn something at Ted's pawn shop,
Oh yeah. You're right.
they don't ever want it back.
That's
they
it.
just they're never. And that's how it works, right? I don't know exactly how a pawn shop works.
It's like consignment. Like
That's a pawn,
They pay
yeah.
you like 10, 20 cents on the dollar for whatever item you have. They'll keep it, and then I guess if you can't pay them back, then they have the right to sell it for a profit. But then you still have to pay them interest. That's my concept. I mean, I've never
once they
pawned
sell
anything.
it, I'm not paying interest.
No, but I'm saying like if you don't pay back whatever they
Yeah,
lent
they
you,
keep it.
They keep the item as collateral, then they sell it at a profit.
So if it's like worth $1,000,
Right.
They'll give you like
$300,
$300,
$250.
okay,
Yeah.
and then you have a certain amount of time.
To pay that money back.
I think. I'm not exactly sure how
No,
the
yeah,
dynamic
that's
works.
exactly-
So then you pay the full 1,000 back. And
No, with interest. So it's like you're only borrowing. Say you borrow $250, but it might be at like 15% or something. I'm guessing.
No, you have a certain amount of time to pay them back. Like you got a week to pay the $300 back, and if you don't pay the $300 back within a week, then you pay interest on that. Then like after an extended period of time, it's over. The item becomes theirs, and they can do whatever they want with it. It doesn't mean they could sell it for a profit. They might
So
not
does-
sell it for a profit. They
does
might sell it
anybody-
and break even.
Does anybody ever go back?
Lots of people. Most of the stuff in pawn shops are stuff that were pawned and were left there.
I've been in pawn. I've been in pawn because Vegas has like a ton of pawn shops. So I just walked into one out of curiosity, and they do have a lot. They have a lot of guitars. Guitars is like for some reason people pawn those.
Well, yeah, because you realize you're not going to be. Wait a minute, I
You're not
can't
gonna be
be
next-
John Bon Jovi.
You're not
no.
Elvis. You're not Elvis. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you suck.
Yeah.
You suck. All right, can I? Yeah. Because I just feel like if you go to a pawn shop, you're never going back. Like,
Well, here's what I
like
think.
What 1%?
Yeah.
Here's what I think. A lot of those things don't belong to the person coming in there with it, so they'll
Probably
take the
stolen.
money and then
Probably
it just.
stolen items. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying necessarily
So people
stolen,
steal a lot
but-
of guitars.
Yeah.
Is that you guitarist, huh? Yeah. Where do you live?
Can you?
Where do you live?
How much can I get for this catalytic converter? It's mine.
It's mine. Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
put
don't
it
want
back in. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need it.
I'm gonna weld it back. I'm gonna weld it back to my car
Yeah,
after.
I
I'm
took
done.
it off. I got a new one for my car,
Exactly,
right? And
yeah.
I sold the car, so yeah, I got this extra one. Okay, sorry. I never understood a pawn shop, so I'm gonna go. Here's what I want to
We
do.
have a pawn shop person on the show, like a pawn shop owner on the show, to explain to us.
And then once they explain it, then it's over.
Is it like a car title loan place? I mean, obviously there's a predatory.
There's a TV show.
Yeah, but I'm
right?
saying there's a predatory.
30 TV shows.
Yeah, there's a
huh?
predatory.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's at least 5.
But it's like a check cashing place. It's like car loan, check cashing place, pawn shop. They're kind of predatory in nature, and they prey on people who obviously are desperate for
Yeah.
money. Right. That's the overall theme. Right.
Pawn shops?
Yeah.
Well, they serve a purpose. that's
They
for
serve a
They-
purpose.
they do
yeah.
serve a
Of course, yeah, of
purpose.
course they serve a purpose.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, I get it. Okay, so
Just
get
don't
back
put
to
it
this.
in my town.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Ted, my wife and I need a tall tale. We are desperate. We are headed on vacation with our 2 kids, 8 and 6. See, I like how they're adding details. A friend has a beautiful beach house in Myrtle Beach, and we're going to drive down there and enjoy a week on the ocean. Here's the problem. My wife's mother has somehow invited herself on the trip, and my wife said, no way. Her mother is not fun at all, and the thought of spending a week with her is making my wife want to cancel the trip altogether. We need a lie to keep her from coming. Please, can you help us, Carrie and Rick from Huntington, West
I
Virginia.
heard of Huntington. All right, guys. Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing it. I mean, I guess the simple, most logical answer
Stop,
is
Ted, stop. Ted, stop. If they fake their own deaths
No.
or some kind of mortal injury, her mother is going to know.
your footprints need to
And
disappear
any
at the
DNA,
closest beach.
any DNA will be able to be disputed by her mother. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
First, turn off your cell phones because they can triangulate that shit. So just remember that.
Her mother?
Exactly.
She worked for the
no,
CIA?
No, turn off your iPhone. Find My iPhone. That's number one. So make sure. So number one, do you have an Android phone or an iPhone? Because like, if you have Find My Phone and your mother, is networked with the daughter's phone, she could track that. So that's number one. So either put it on airplane mode or shut off your Find My Phone locator. That's number one.
Wait, isn't there like a box? Every time I see a spy movie, they can put their phone in a box and the signal can't get there.
Yeah, that's why it's called a move. But in real life, you just put your phone on airplane mode.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh,
then you can't,
okay,
and you can't
cool.
find it. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, to keep it simple, couldn't you just cancel? I mean, unless you're staying at Airbnb, if you're going for a week, couldn't you just like maybe move it to like just say, hey, you know what? Something came up at work with my husband. We're canceling the trip, and then just reschedule it for like say 2 weeks later, and just don't tell the mother, and then just go, and just leave it at that.
I mean,
Wouldn't that
she's
be-
going to keep asking. If they cancel, she's going to keep asking. Okay, I'm free. I mean, if these people are, let's just say these people are in their 30s.
Yeah.
They don't have I don't have an age on this one.
Yeah.
30s or 40s. I mean, the mom's going to be retired
Yeah.
and have time to go.
Lot
How do
of
they
time.
get out of this? So let's say they can't cancel. Okay, because it doesn't seem like they're borrowing their friend. What does it say? A friend has a beautiful beach house in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
It's not going to be open every week for whenever
Right.
they want.
Okay. So let's just say they can't. It's non-refundable. They have to go. Just say, hey, you know what? The house is already filled to capacity because the host is already inviting some extended family members, so they're all booked up. But I'll tell you what, when we get back from our trip, we have something special planned for you. So just to appease her, you don't want to alienate your mother, of course. So just say, unfortunately, this has been pre-planned for months in advance. The house is full. But when we come back from the
I
trip,
can sleep on the couch.
when we come back,
I can sleep on the couch. I can.
There's already someone sleeping on the couch.
I don't
yeah. Every possible surface that you can sleep on is
There's
occupied.
no couch.
There
There's
is
no couch.
There is absolutely zero. Okay. I want you to picture Bangladesh, India. Okay, there's 2 billion people in the size of Wisconsin. That's what this house is going to look like this weekend. There's absolutely nowhere to go. It has maximum capacity.
But
Maximum
I'm
capacity.
under the impression that, like what they said, she's already going. She invited herself.
She invited herself.
So she's already part of this trip in her mind. And in their
In her
minds,
mind.
they are yeah,
Yeah.
and in their minds, they already know that she thinks that she's a part of this trip. So obviously, the very first discussion, they left the door open for her to make plans to join them. So
Yeah.
they didn't say no right away.
Right. Yeah. So it sounds like they
They
might
didn't
have
slam the door on the idea.
there might have been some ambiguity, but this is what you're going to say. Oh, we really wanted you to go, but upon further review, talking to the host, just we're impressed upon her. It's not our house we're going to. You know that, right? Unfortunately, unbeknownst to us, he's invited several extended family members for a one-time family reunion, and the place is going to be packed. I'm sorry, you just can't go on this trip. But when we get back, we'll make sure to take you out and give you the proper respect you think you deserve.
You think you deserve?
Why can't you find out like some of her like they probably know like if she's allergic to this or that, right? Or if she's afraid of this or that, then you make up a story, Ted.
Like she's allergic to spiders.
Yeah, just say the house
The
is
house is
full.
full of spiders.
They're breeding.
Oh my
they're,
God.
they're breeding spiders.
It's called Spider Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I mean, go that route, or just say
I heard it's haunted. Actually, there was a triple murder in there 2 years ago, and I think the ghosts are still walking around. Okay, the Amityville. This is worse.
oh yeah, like okay,
This
ghosts,
is
okay.
worse.
Mom, I went to a fortune teller yesterday, and you die on this trip if you go with us.
You what?
So
And
you
they-
can't go.
and they show her a
the
tarot
fortune
card?
teller.
What
the
if
fortune teller told of our future trip, and you were coming along, and you fell out the car and died. So you need to stay home.
What if her mother's not an idiot and doesn't believe in fortune tellers?
I think she's
What if
an
what if the
idiot. She
woman
just
what
invited
if
herself
Carrie
on a
is
trip.
what if it well, I mean, yeah, I'd love to go. I can't wait. I mean, how do
She's
you
standing
how do you
at the
even
door
beat
with her
that?
suitcase?
But how do you even beat that when she says that right there? So let's just say that you and your wife are planning the trip, right? And you're just like, oh, Carrie and I, we're gonna take the kids and we're gonna go to Myrtle Beach, at the beginning of August. Oh, that's great! I'd love to go.
Good, you get to watch the kids because it's a swingers convention. We need a babysitter.
Or like I said, if they plan it for like a week, which is like, let's just say it's 5 days,
That's
maybe leave one day earlier or later to, and just say, and same
so.
excuse.
Just dump out the day before.
No, just say, hey, something came up. Unfortunately,
She rings the doorbell.
there's nobody there.
Rick,
Didn't we do
Carrie.
that? Didn't we do that before? We had another one that was similar to this. It was a tip, and we said, "I thought you said like a different country." Remember, they were flying overseas, and then they sent the mother-in-law
just-
to another country.
I like that concept. Just leave. So they could leave a day earlier, stay at a hotel,
Stay at a hotel, yeah.
right, and be like, it'd be like, Mom, we had to leave.
And there was a miscommunication. You say, oh my God, I thought it was the week of July 30th, not the 23rd. I am so sorry. We're going to make it up to you next time.
I
but it's
like
mission
the
accomplished.
concept of making it up.
Yeah,
though.
just-
I like
yeah,
that. We'll
yeah.
make it up to you,
But leave a day
Yeah.
early. And then she calls. She's not going to show up. Let's assume she lives down the street. She calls the daughter. Oh, hey, Mom, what's going on? Hey, where are you guys? Oh, we're on a trip.
When
What's
are you
going
coming
on?
to pick me
Yeah,
up?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, we had to leave a day early.
No, and then
Didn't you get the text?
And then and then you give the 1-2 punch, like, oh, hey, you know what? It worked out perfectly because the house is maxed out to capacity because the host invited some of his extended family members. We're gonna get back. When we get back, we're gonna take you out to celebrate you, Mom. Celebrate you.
I do. You know what though?
We're gonna celebrate you.
Half the house is under construction. We only really got half of it.
You ever
There
heard
would
of-
have been no room for you.
You ever heard of Chinese drywall? It was awful. Okay, like it's toxic to older people over 65. Okay, so studies have shown.
I kind of like that. No, I like that concept. I honestly like that concept.
All right, the lie has been laid.
The
Isn't
lie
it-
of the land.
Isn't it always? I mean, aren't you?
I'm still probably confused because we gave out about 6 different ones, including yours.
well, they have lots of options.
Yeah.
I mean, I
We're just
feel like
brainstorming.
I feel like anytime anybody calls in for or sends in for a tip or a tall tale, right? They're not only waiting for Ted's answer, but how we can massage that.
Okay, good. Then go with the you got to babysit the whole time because it's a swingers convention.
Because, dude, I love that concept. Yes, we didn't want to.
We didn't want to tell
We
you.
don't want you
but
to go.
Thank
right?
God you're coming with because we need you to
Yeah.
watch the kids.
We
'Cause
gotta
we're
bring-
banging other people.
Yeah.
It's gonna get ugly.
That is, God. What? But hold on. Worst case scenario. Here it comes. That sounds great. I'm in.
I'm in.
No, or you just say this. Actually, you know what? They're trying to sell us a timeshare. I'm out. Like they try to sell you a timeshare. They take you for like 4 or 5 hours, and then
no,
they
no,
give
no.
you some free gifts.
That's a great idea, Mom. We were wondering how we were going to pay for this.
Oh, throw it. Okay. So there's a lot of options. I you know what? I like it, but house under construction. We can't, like combo it up.
Yeah.
Not enough room for you.
Just not enough room for you. Whatever the reason is.
Swingers convention.
We cannot accommodate you. We really want to. We just cannot physically do it.
All right.
To our disappointment.
Done.
I like it. I like it. All right. I'm pretty impressed right now because Chicago has been named the second best city to live in the United States.
By who?
Let's see. I'm
what
trying to
entity?
find this. This was done by Rape and Murder magazine. No, an online magazine called Resonance. Yeah, they named Chicago right after New York the second best city to live in.
Really? Because that's interesting. Because usually when you talk about the crime rate and the cost of living, and usually Chicago and New York and LA,
was third.
Are in the bottom three. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
LA was third.
So is this like the Onion version of the best places to live?
I have
Okay,
no
so-
idea because I couldn't figure out why anybody would want to live in a giant city with like what is there 8 million people in Chicago?
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Well, in the greater metropolitan area.
So there's about 4 million people in the actual city.
Chicago. Yeah, maybe
I think 3 million.
3 million,
Yeah,
but it's
3
a lot.
million.
Yeah, I didn't
And
realize
then
it was
when
that
you count in all
populated.
suburbs, it's like
Something
8-9
like
million.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to live in a city this big?
Well, I live here.
The stuff I read, what I read about the top, actually there are suburbs. Like for example, I think I read something like Naperville was voted one of the best suburbs in the country to live in. Based on like a crime, housing, education index. Money Magazine comes out with the top 10 places in the country to
Right.
live. I've never seen Chicago in the top 10 for
I,
anything.
neither have I. Neither
L.A.
have
or
I.
New York,
It had to be
Boston.
like metropolitan, like big time cities.
Well, it had to be more than 500,000 people.
Okay.
But still, I mean, this is what they said. This is how they came up with it. They said they used user-generated data and core statistics. That is what you say when you're lying.
What,
I mean,
from 1960?
listen, those are the two phrases that you use when you are lying to someone. Say, Ted, we're gonna golf. We already got 4 guys. We were gonna get you, but based on our user-generated data and our core statistics,
That's a good one.
It wasn't going to be a good foursome.
I love our city. I love Chicago. I really do. I love everything about it, and I hate everything about it in the same tone. I'm older now. I'm sick of the congestion. I'm sick of how crowded it is. I'm sick of like how long it takes to go from point A to point B. And it was never like this. It was never like this. It was never this bad.
No, I think we just had.
I
I
just
just think we were way more tolerant. Honestly, when we did stuff.
No,
You're just
I
old
know,
and,
dude.
you're
It
just old
never
and cranky.
took.
You're just
it,
old
no,
and cranky.
No,
No,
It never took this long to get around in this city than it does now. I mean, we used to
Well,
drive
there's,
around.
there's obviously more people and more
There's
cars.
more people, more
right? I mean,
cars, yeah.
everybody's got a car.
Well, look at the construction. Like there's new
Well,
whole
that's
divisions
yeah.
of townhomes and
But
condos
we had
going
that.
up.
We
yeah,
had
so-
that when they did 90. When they redid that when we were younger. So it was bad. But no, what I'm saying is, I mean, what I love about the city is like, we were out on Lake Michigan last week. It was unbelievable. It's just
Oh, yeah, it's
unbelievable
like an
to go
ocean.
downtown and
Yeah.
get out there and swim and drive up and down the North Shore, and then the week before, 2 weeks before that, we were at NASCAR downtown. I mean, the city has so much to offer. It's insane. The music scene's incredible. I mean, all the bands coming out of Chicago in the last 2-3 years. It's like starting all every 10 years we get all these bands. I mean, the band scene. I mean, the concerts. Summer is great. The Sox suck.
Yeah.
The Cubs aren't doing good.
I think it's safe to say this: if you
Cubs
have a
suck too.
if you have
so
a lot of
eat
money,
ass.
if you have a lot of money, and you're financially well-to-do, anywhere you live is comfortable, right? I mean, because you're going to live in the best spot, in the best part of town, in the best with the best amenities.
Why are you saying it after I just talked?
No, I'm
like
just saying.
I'm some millionaire. Like,
No, but I'm saying in general. I'm
yeah,
saying like,
Mr. Big Shot.
oh, for you.
yeah.
well, if we're,
yeah,
if we're-
the world. Yeah, when you can pay to have someone wipe
That's
your
what you're
ass.
saying. You're like, oh yeah, anybody can
Well, no,
enjoy
no.
a city if you got your kind of money,
No,
Mark.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just talking in general. But like Hawaii, for example, yeah, that's a big time vacation destination. But people who actually live there in like Lehigh or whatever, Hawaii, they're actually
They live
it's-
all over
it's poor.
Hawaii.
It's poor.
Ted, the entire state.
Yeah.
People live.
But it's actually
everywhere.
pretty poor. Like they actually like the villages. It's kind of a shitty existence. It's kind of a hand to mouth existence.
Wait, part of Hawaii is shitty.
Most of Hawaii.
Okay, I'm going to have to guess that
whole
shitty
part is
Hawaii.
burned down though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm guessing
gonna
shitty
they're gonna
Hawaii
rebuild it,
is
yeah.
way better than shitty Chicago.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you're like a poor villager that just ekes
A
out.
villager? What do you? This is
whatever,
like a
or-
third world country.
Yeah, but I'm saying they just eke out whatever existence they eke out. It's not the same as a jet-setting
Ted-
person coming in on a first-class flight who's going to spend the week at Waikiki Beach or Diamond
But you
Head.
know where Hawaii is, right? You're not talking about like Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, right?
I'm not talking about Haiti.
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
No, I have not.
It's
but I do
ridiculous.
know where it is.
But Ted can speak intelligently about Hawaii
And the villagers.
in the villagers. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, they're wearing the grass skirts, right?
You're thinking of Samoa.
No, I know Samoa and Hawaii aren't the same thing. Some people.
I actually thought they were some very similar. I actually I don't
They
know.
are
where
very similar,
where-
almost
where's-
identical.
I forgot where Samoa is in relation to Hawaii.
We're not doing this again.
I'm not doing
We are
this.
not. We are absolutely not doing this again. We're not going to do
Where's
geography.
Kathmandu?
It doesn't matter.
Who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Yeah. Oh man. I'm not going to do this. Okay. Have you guys ever thought about going to outer space?
Speaking of
seriously.
big cities.
Yeah.
in the next
I mean,
life,
you
maybe,
can get
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Outer space is not as crowded. It is very much way emptier than Chicago.
I mean, I played video games when I was a kid where there was outer space themes to it, but no, not
Like
really.
asteroids.
Yes.
So asteroids is very But and
What
you
do
know
you
what?
mean by
I don't want to
out-
hit
what,
that.
what do you mean by outer
Have
space?
you ever thought of getting in?
Well, they have
in a
these
spaceship?
flights that go
Right.
up into the and then you're like floating and then they come right back down.
Okay.
and it's
like
like
one of
20.
those?
It's like what
Anything.
20. And it's
Have
like
you
20,000 a
ever-
pop.
Or like going to visit George and Joan Judson.
Meet George Jetson.
His wife, what's his wife's name?
Irene or Eileen?
Joan?
Irene, yeah. Yeah.
Joan? No,
His
that's
wife.
Joan Jett. I'm getting her confused with Joan Jett, not Jetson.
Angie. I don't know. But have you ever thought about going to outer space?
I think about outer space, but I don't
No.
actually think about going there.
outer space.
But I don't think about going there.
I've never.
When I look up there and I see those stars, I think that's outer space. All right.
yeah, and there's nowhere to go.
Well,
Nothing's
the fuck
colonized.
you mean?
There's no
Ted,
eco bubble
Ted,
out there.
There's everywhere to go. Literally outer space.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
And your
What's
de-
Ted gonna eat?
and your death will be
he
instantaneous.
doesn't eat anyway.
and
He
your-
could. You know how many weeks he could go without eating?
Your death will be instantaneous.
Oh, you're right. There's no takeout
There's
in
no
outer space.
There's no gyros. There's no
Yeah.
hot dogs. There's no pizza.
Shrimp gumbo.
If there was like a I love that stuff. If there was an eco bubble, like say on the moon, that people, it's almost like a resort, like a Dubai type resort. Yeah, I would say that's pretty cool. You go to the moon and you stay there for like a couple of months as a huge, with all the amenities. That'd be great. But unfortunately, everything's, inhospitable out
Jane,
there, right?
his wife.
Yeah, Jane.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good one.
So you're not interested in going to Hawaii, going to outer space, Hawaii?
Oh,
You're not-
yes.
You're not interested in going to outer space.
Not this minute.
I mean, just get in a ship, like a space shuttle, go there,
No.
come back.
I have zero desire.
no way.
None whatsoever.
Good move. Okay, scientists are doing studies, and they found that astronauts' kidneys shrink when they're in outer space for only a month.
Because they grow too.
What?
They grow. They gain they get taller.
No, they
Significantly
no, they
taller.
so the guy Mark Kelly, the guy who's they're
No,
talking
he got taller. You get taller.
No, the guy they're talking about running
Yes,
for
he got
vice
taller.
president. I said no. They said he shrunk.
No.
You shrink.
So
He was in space for a year.
Yeah, I know, but he came back down taller.
No,
not-
he came down shorter.
No.
He came down shorter.
are you,
Oh, okay. I thought it was taller.
I have no
He sh-
idea.
Yeah, he shrank.
I have no idea.
No, I know that you. I
But-
know that
I mean,
it's,
his
the
penis-
size of your body
his
actually
penis,
changes.
his penis
'cause
got
it-
bigger, but he physically got
I
smaller.
I don't think that's the thing. But so what they're saying is that they're worried that people stay in extended periods of time in outer space. Their organs are going to shrink.
Yeah.
And they're going to have it's going to have an effect on them.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if your kidneys are shrinking, right, then your liver's shrinking, and if
Yeah.
your liver and your kidneys are shrinking, there's no drinking in outer space.
Yeah, and you're not going there anytime soon. Then.
No,
Yeah.
here he came back 2 inches taller than his brother because a lack of gravity causes spinal discs to
Really?
expand.
Oh, it's taller. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad. Thought it was shorter. So.
Did he stay tall?
I don't know.
No, I think you go back and gravity just.
After a year in space,
Gravity
Scott
sucks.
Kelly returns 2 inches taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says nothing here about his penis, Ted.
2 inches is pretty
So wait,
significant.
So wait, you know what? Here's what I want.
Yeah,
I
there's
want-
people having their legs chopped off to gain like 3 inches of height.
No, they're doing that thing. They're
Remember
doing
that?
that bone.
The
No, the
bone?
bone lengthening thing. The femur. Like
Yeah.
so, regular guys are
That's
paying.
basically like chopping your legs
No,
off,
no,
right?
it's like tens of thousands of dollars. So one guy, for example, he was like 5'6". I kind of felt bad for the guy. He spent
Because he's 5'6"?
No, but he spent like $20,000 because it's obviously not it's a cosmetic procedure to lengthen his femur, which is like a painful
Yeah, well-
surgery. But now he's like 5'10", and I guess supposedly his life is better because he attracts more women now. Because I guess like unfortunately on these dating apps, women don't like short guys. In general, so if you're taller, you obviously have more of a biological advantage. At least that's what he was thinking.
That's bullshit.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
think it is.
I don't.
Definitely superficial. Who wants
Like-
to be involved with somebody who's cares more about your height than who you
Yeah,
are
but
as a person?
Do you have any like really short friends? Because I don't like to be around them. They're weird.
My short friends? Actually, I do. Actually, I do have some.
You have some friends that are very short.
Yeah, one of my closest friends is Erwin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
He's
it
a little,
seems silly.
He's a little,
I mean-
he's a little Aztec. He's Azteca.
Azteca.
He's from
But I mean,
Belize.
yeah, I guess if you're just born that way, I mean, I don't know. I mean, people get surgery for everything now, right? For
Yeah.
their face, for
Yeah. Well, this
you
is
know,
extreme. But this is
eyes, get
extreme. This
everything.
isn't like a nose job. This is like you're going in your femur, which is like the strongest bone in the body, and you're breaking it to lengthen it, and then putting rods in there to hold it in place. So I mean, that's a painful.
Well, I mean, you could just go to outer
surgery.
space instead.
Yeah. Or be
Oh,
like
wow.
Ron DeSantis and put lifts in your shoes, right?
So,
Allegedly.
man, we haven't heard a lot of Ron DeSantis. You know,
Oh,
once
dude, he's
You'll
done.
hear-
He's
no,
off the face
no,
of the earth.
No,
all of a
you'll
sudden.
hear from
well,
him back
he's-
in 2028.
No, he's back. He's back in Florida. messing
2028.
things
He'll
up.
be running again in 2028, along with Gavin Newsom. Trust me on that one.
I don't see
It's
either one of
all
them
done.
ever being president.
But they're gonna
yeah,
run.
you know what? That would be a great thing to do, rather than an expensive, painful surgery. Just pay for like a month or 2
years.
2 years. Okay, that's a long time to be in outer space. That's a long time, especially as Ted said, nothing to do,
Yeah.
nowhere to go, nothing to
Well,
do.
plus these are astronauts. I mean, like for us, we'd have to actually pay like a private, like either like Jeff Bezos, whatever, like Blue Origin private jet. He goes up there, or Richard Branson, I think, has a private shuttle that goes to outer space. But yeah, it's what $20,000 for what like a couple hour trip,
But
whatever.
you just get outside the atmosphere and float around. And you come right back down.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of
Is that going to help you get taller?
no.
you got to be out there for a year, right? At least a year.
Is it going to make you buy a ticket? Then yes, it makes you taller.
Oh, wait a minute. What if I mean?
It's just got bamboozled.
So your kidney. So if you're up there, your organs are going to get smaller. You're going to be bigger. You have smaller organs. When you come back, that can't be good for you.
I don't know.
That's what you're going
I'm
with.
not a
I mean,
rocket scientist.
Yeah, I wonder if rocket scientists are thinking like this. What? Go ahead.
What about the people who remember that submarine that went to go see the Titanic? It was like a homemade sub, and the thing like imploded. There was like 9 people, and I think
Don't get on a homemade rocket ship. Don't
no,
make a rocket
no. So I'm
ship.
just saying these people went to go see the remains of the Titanic on the
Yeah.
ocean floor, which I think is like what 20,000, whatever. It's on the ocean floor, like 10,000
I have no idea.
feet. So it's like so it sank off the coast of Nova Scotia. So this company, I can't think of the name of it, but it was in the news for a while.
Oh, we talked
They
about
built like
yeah,
a homemade sub. It was like a 9-foot sub.
Are you telling us something that happened like a
like
year ago?
Yeah, a year ago, and then I guess like 9 people.
talked about it.
Yeah, 9
Yeah.
people died. But I'm saying that they charged $1 million a piece for these people to get on the sub, and I'm saying
So you're saying we can build a sub?
I'm just saying there's no way in hell I would get on that death trap.
See,
to
when you
see
go
the
down
Renaissance
underwater, you
Titanic.
actually shrink.
Yeah, because the pressure. I guess the thing depressurized and it just went.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not what's going to happen all the time.
No.
I mean,
But it
just
happened.
build.
But it happened that time.
Yeah, just build a better sub.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to
well,
say.
Well,
build
they
a
did
better
it.
sub.
They didn't.
All right. I hate to do this because I think the Olympics start in a couple days, right?
Friday.
Oh, is it okay?
Opening. It already started, but opening ceremonies
Where?
is Friday.
Where's it at? Where's the Olympics
It's
at?
in Paris.
Paris again? It's always in Paris.
Paris, Illinois.
What?
Oh, Paris.
Wait,
I
what
thought
do you
it was
mean
Paris,
again?
Texas.
Wouldn't it be great? If
It was in Paris like 100 years ago.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Jesse.
Oh,
Owens.
you just I always think about it, just 100 years ago. Okay, so there's already our
Wouldn't
first.
it be great if it was actually Paris, Illinois? There is a Paris, Illinois.
There
you
is a
know that,
Paris,
yeah.
Illinois.
I thought it was a Paris, Texas too.
There is a
There's
Paris,
a Paris,
Texas.
Texas.
This-
too.
What if it was just? That's a better way to do the Olympics. You pick a city, a name, and then in all the different countries,
Springfield.
right? All the different countries that have that, wherever it is, they have to have some sort of event. Okay, whether it's trampoline.
So anyway, this opening ceremonies are on Friday, but a lot of events have started already.
Have they really?
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't believe I missed some of this.
It's
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the Olympics starting then if they're already going on?
You know what? I think the entire purpose of the Olympics is defeated because, because basketball's already started, right?
well, those are the
Yeah, that's right.
prelim-
Yeah, basketball because they were
Yeah.
talking about LeBron James rescued USA men's basketball from losing to South Sudan and Germany.
He didn't rescue anything. The Olympics, the definition is amateur athletes, the
Yeah.
best amateur athletes from around the world.
Yeah, which already is
I'm
defeated.
fairly
yeah.
confident. I'm fairly confident with tennis, golf, and basketball. They're all professionals.
Yeah, that went out the window years ago.
Yeah, it seems kind of silly. All right, the first Olympic scandal is out
What's up?
already.
Boogaloo Shrimp,
No,
Snoop Dogg.
nope,
It's not a commentator. then.
Snoop-a-loop.
nope. And
Because those are. I mean, well, Boogaloo Shrimp didn't get in as a
he did
commentator,
not get in as a commentator.
but
yeah.
Snoop Dogg did.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg has so much to talk about for the
But
Olympics.
he's great. He really is. I mean, I haven't seen him in the Olympics yet, but do you ever see him do some of that stuff where he's like,
I mean, he's entertaining. I mean, I don't know what he's bringing.
He's got that very.
I don't know what
unique-
he's bringing to the
He's got that
He's
very unique
hilarious.
voice. He's got that unique
Yeah.
voice. That's
Yeah,
why he's such
he's
a good rapper.
entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right. A British equestrian rider has been kicked out of the Olympics.
Yeah. Why's that?
Obviously steroids. No, no. She was caught, and their video came out 4 years ago. Now, equestrian, you are riding a horse.
Yeah.
So in the Olympics, there are people riding horses. I'm not making fun of that. I want to make fun of that because it's stupid.
I like equestrian. Yeah, they do the little obstacle course with the horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
like
the
that.
horse does it.
Yeah.
The person sits on the horse. The horse jumps. So I guess this
They're
woman
driving the horse.
They're driving. Yeah.
It's like NASCAR.
And I guess this girl 4 years ago, and this is old news. 4 years ago, a video surfaced a couple days ago that she has a horse. I guess there are multiple horses, and she was whipping the horse's legs. In the video.
No bueno.
Yeah, and that is, I guess, a no-no to make a. I don't know how that would help a horse. I don't know what you're doing. So if you're whipping a horse, like your horse isn't jumping right, and you're whipping its legs, how does that help your horse jump better?
I mean, I don't know anything about, like, for example, horse racing or equestrian, but I have
But
to
I do
assume-
have a comment on
But it's like the circus. I'm assuming there's ways that aren't right to where they probably do, abuse the animals to some degree to get them to comply. I mean, just like with anything. Like,
But how does if you're standing there? Because I guess in the video,
Yeah.
she's basically this horse is standing there, and the horse didn't perform the jumps well.
Yeah, yeah.
Previously, the previous few hours, and so she grabbed it's like a kind of like a whip thing, and she's basically whipping
Yeah.
the horse's legs.
Yeah.
I think it's a whip.
A whip.
Yeah.
But how does that? I mean, how does a horse equate? This bitch is hitting me. I need to jump better.
she probably, got some advice from somebody, or she saw something where they thought this was like the standard operating practice to get a horse to comply. But yeah, well, you hear about the Japanese. She was actually. This is another scandal. I feel bad for this woman. She was actually the captain of the Japanese gymnastics team, and they sent her home because she got caught smoking cigarettes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they were whipping her legs.
No, yeah.
She got caught getting her legs whipped.
Yeah, she was smoking cigarettes, and I guess so. They sent her home, and she's like she's the
For
cap-
smoking cigarettes.
for smoking cigarettes. Yeah, I guess the Japanese just unilaterally did that on their own.
They smoke like it's going out.
Yeah.
In Japan, like everybody smokes.
So she's still a high end athlete.
Yeah, but they sent her home. So she was she made the Olympic team. She's actually at the Olympics, and I just read this like a couple of days ago, and she was caught smoking cigarettes. I'm assuming it while she's at the Olympics, in her off time, and they sent her home, which is a shame, So
Aren't you glad you're not famous? Because if you were, people would be videoing you every second of every day to catch you doing something.
yeah, I don't know how she got busted or who turned her in, but yeah, but it's that's too bad. 'cause
I'm
that's
assuming
just
it's a girl that
it's-
was on the team.
It's probably some girl who's pissed because she's not as good as her,
It
right?
was the Russian.
Yeah.
Right.
The Russians
No,
did
I
it.
mean one of the girls who was probably an alternate, right? Because I saw
Yeah, sure.
the Olympic trials for the America.
Yeah.
They had gymnastics.
Yeah.
And we were watching it, and I'll be 100% honest with you. I just don't. I have no interest in any of it. Right.
I like women's
But they
gymnastics.
they
I
announced
love
the
watching
team.
it. I love it.
They announced a team, and then they had two alternates.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking right now, and it's so funny. The entire time I'm thinking the alternates is like, you know what? I'll set up your little horse thing or whatever. I got it. I got it for you. It's right there. Yeah, you're all good. I put it right where you wanted it. I didn't move it 3 inches away. I did not do any of that because I don't know what is it. Is it pommel horse? Is that a thing?
Pommel horse.
Is
Yeah,
that
the
a guy
pommel-
thing or is that
No, that's a women's thing too.
polo
Yeah,
thing?
the pommel horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that it's that thing where you just kind of
they
get
jump
on there.
off it?
Yeah, but you're kind of like with your hands.
Yeah.
No, that's a dude thing. The one where they run real fast and they jump off of it and then they throw themselves.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
yeah,
same
around.
thing, but
Oh,
they
it's
use
the
it
same
for
thing?
different.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
Swimming's the best. I mean, for the Summer Olympics, I love all the swimming.
Swimming.
The swimming events, yeah.
So somebody diving in a pool and
Diving.
At least-
I love the races.
At least they're all
those are the
amateurs, though.
most-
At least they're all amateurs, though, right?
those guys are. Michael Phelps is at 0 point. Was Michael Phelps an amateur anything?
Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, but I
Freddie
mean,
Ledecky,
there's no
she's gonna-
professional swimming league, so I guess they're the best.
There's a lot
they're
of
the best of the
swimmers.
best, but but they're still
Yeah, but there's
technically amateurs.
championships.
They're all no, but I mean,
I
Ted's
agree.
right in some degree because a lot of the swimmers in there are students at Indiana. There's two Indiana guys, I think. Purdue guys. They're all Big Ten. It's crazy. they're all like a lot of these swimmers are in college, coming out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like that Quincy. I think he's like the youngest kid. He's on the men's track team. He's like only 16 years old, and his name's like Quincy something Jackson or something. And
Dude,
he's
that would be if you were 16.
16.
And you were hanging out with the prime athletes.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
He might be the prime athlete
dude,
one day. Yeah.
But dude, I mean,
There's a 14-year-old playing professional soccer.
Oh yeah, the 14-year-old. Yeah, the
What?
youngest kid made
Yeah.
his debut. He played professional. He played a professional soccer game. I saw the highlight on Thursday when we were
14.
golfing.
He looks like
He's 14. He already looks like he's older.
He looks like he's 25.
He looks like he's about 19.
so are
20,
they?
yeah.
Are they?
He
Are,
looks older than 14.
Yeah, he looks older than 14.
are they doing the same thing they did the last Olympics, and they're just handing out like thousands and thousands of condoms to everybody because they just know it's like just nothing but hot guys and
Oh,
hot
in the
girls
in
banging.
Olympic Village.
Oh, and
yeah,
they
in
said,
Olympic
and they
Village.
say
yeah.
their beds are made of like cardboard boxes or something. They're doing some that.
The Olympic Village
What?
is like
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
it's like Bo Jackson's neighborhood.
He's just walking around banging
Banging
everything,
everybody,
banging
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so this was kind of funny with the Olympic thing with the equestrian thing. PETA got involved, and they put out a message, and the only reason.
This is that terrorist group, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
PETA group. So the only reason I'm doing this entire story is for this message that PETA sent out about equestrian. This is the greatest thing I've ever heard. It says this is a message to the International Olympic Committee. Should be clear by now. Remove equestrian events from the Olympic Games. Yet again, an Olympic rider has been caught on video abusing a horse to force the animal to behave in an entirely unnatural way, simply for her own glory. Horses don't volunteer. They can only submit to the violence and coercion. It's time for the Olympics to move into the modern era.
What about the other athletes? Think they're there?
Yeah, I mean, but
I think the humans. I think the humans are being coerced too.
Is that? I mean,
That's what I mean.
Is that awesome? I mean, when I love the fact that PETA would do that and just submit to the violence and coercion.
You know what's not. You know what else is not natural for a human being to snatch 400 pounds over their head like the Olympic snatches or the clean and jerks. I don't think the body's designed to do that unless you train like.
Yeah, but now horses aren't doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about an organization that chooses a country based on how much money they can get from that country, and then that country uses slave labor to build the whole Olympic thing. I mean, Paris probably didn't.
You're talking
do
about the
much of
Apple
that.
iPhone factory?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was Saudi Arabia when they were doing the World Cup. Yeah, that was pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the next
but PETA doesn't care about
the
people.
next Olympics is in Qatar, right? The winter,
Is it?
something like
There's
that.
no
yeah.
Winter Olympics in Qatar.
Qatar.
No,
Qatar.
I'm
There's
talking.
no fucking way. That Winter
They put an
Olympics
ocean
in
there.
Qatar.
They put
There is no way.
They put an ocean in the
It's
desert.
like 150 degrees out there.
yeah.
No, the next Olympics. I think the next.
Isn't
summer,
it here? I thought it was in like L.A. or in America or something. Honestly, 2028 in Los Angeles or something. I don't know. I don't have any interest in it.
That would be funny if it was the Olympics.
because they're so the sports are so weird now that it doesn't. It's not even real. There's no real sports. The only real sports professional athletes are playing, and then they have weird shit like trampoline and paragliding.
I'll be
and-
honest with you. I kind of like watching badminton and ping pong.
Oh, they're trying to get in
Ping
for
pong.
2036.
Ping pong's pretty cool.
Ping pong.
Olympic ping pong's pretty fucking cool. I'm not
Ping
gonna
pong
lie.
is pretty cool. I agree.
You ever see Taiwan versus like China versus Japan versus Korea?
Oh yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely.
I mean, there might be one guy from Europe who makes it, but yeah, I mean that's pretty cool.
it is pretty wild.
It's like extreme ping pong.
it is pretty extreme. All right.
Forrest Gump won a gold medal.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah,
All right, Mark, do you have a movie mention?
I do not.
You do not have a movie mention.
Do
today.
not.
Oh, okay.
I can mention a movie, but I don't remember much about the
Oh.
details.
Hold on.
What is that? My movie mention?
Let me just throw that away. We don't need that shit anymore.
Okay.
Oh man, Ted is draining the bottle on the Crown Royal.
And he's
There's
dra-
there's
I
nothing-
see
there's
his
nothing-
shirt. He's
there's
wearing a purple shirt.
Oh
It's
my
like royalty.
god, he is just draining
And
the
I'm
bottle.
drinking from a chalice.
Like
It was a goblet upstairs.
like-
it was
it's
a
a goblet.
goblet.
Now it's a
I like
chalice.
saying
it's a
I like saying
chalice.
goblet and chalice.
Well, it's a goblet when it's empty.
It's-
When he fills it with Crown, it's a chalice.
I feel like I'm in a Dungeons and Dragons episode right now.
There's no episode. The Dungeons and Dragons. This is
yeah, the
fucking
cartoon.
I
There was
know.
a cartoon.
Was it
Yeah, that was one of my favorite cartoons.
Dungeons and Dragons? The cartoon.
Yeah.
I didn't know
God,
that.
you have such shitty.
Are you
man.
thinking of Dragon's Lair?
No, Dungeons and Dragons. It was
Wait,
a
how old are you?
Cartoon. 50.
So 7 years. You were born 7 years after me, and you had shitty things like Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. You didn't even have Tom and Jerry.
He-Man, Tom and Jerry. Come on, I knew that.
Tom
Woody
and
Woodpecker.
Jerry. was just two animals that just literally tried to kill each other
Yeah.
the entire time. That's what we grew up with. Three Stooges, three guys
Yeah, I
just
watched
trying
all
to
that.
murder
I
each
watched
other.
all that.
Yeah, I mean,
Ren and Stimpy.
I had WFLD too. We watched all
yeah.
that.
It's,
Abbott and Costello.
Droopy Dog. That was kind of violent too, believe it or not, back in the day.
Droopy Dog, wasn't he just a dope? who
Yeah,
talked
but
slow?
no, but there was like a bigger dog. It was like the bad dog, who was actually always trying to kill him. Droopy Dog was just so oblivious he couldn't tell, and then just by divine intervention he would get saved at the end.
Isn't that
He'd
weird?
get his food. I mean, they were like,
all
so
the
this dog-
cartoons.
yeah, I mean, he's like poisoning his food, and then like Droopy Dog, he's like Columbo. He's like you think he's dumb, but he's smart enough. So like at the very end, he like switches the food with the dog, and the dog.
so he's like the guy from the Princess Bride.
and the bad dog eats the poisoned food and just like looks at it and goes.
I
kills
clearly
him.
can't drink the wine in front of me.
I mean, there's a homicide. There's a homicide on every Droopy Dog episode. I'll put it to you that way. There's a
Yeah.
homicide or or some type of
you know
false
what?
imprisonment. Or something.
I always say like we are exactly what we ended up to be based on what we watched when we were children, because you have someone that
Scary.
you're up against and you have very simple just murder them.
So
Just-
that's
it's-
our excuse.
We've
What are
literally
what's our
seen-
kids' excuse?
We've literally watched multiple felonies growing up as kids, and people getting away with it. So-
all right. I don't want to talk felonies. I want to talk science. If you guys could be a scientist, what science would you study? Think about it. What science would you want to study?
I like virology, so like the diseases or like the plagues. That's kind of I always thought that was kind of
I
fascinating.
knew it.
What? Yeah, because so many people can die at once. That's
the poison,
Yeah,
the whole thing.
No, I mean not poison, but just like the COVID type thing.
No,
or
but it's
some-
in the same
or
like,
something like
genre.
the
Death.
bubonic plague, where it's just wow, this is like how do we
and
stop
you're not doing
this?
it just because the word is boob.
No, how do we identify patient zero? Where's patient zero?
It was
person
fleas. It was fleas
who's
from
it was
rats.
rat fleas. Rat fleas was the bubonic plague. Yeah, but
The
how do you,
salmon moose. All right, Mark, if you could be a scientist,
Yeah, I would be a zoologist.
you would study zoos,
No, animals.
study animals.
Yeah.
All right. I like this guy better. Okay. There's a couple of scientists. They got
He's
together.
a weatherman. He's a weatherman. You
No,
love weathermen.
no,
you
no,
love
no,
weathermen,
no.
meteorologists.
They were doing some research on drugs like LSD. Those kind of. They're called psilocybin drugs, and they're a lot like shrooms, LSD, that kind of thing.
mind altering drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And they're trying to study them to see if doing these drugs actually is beneficial in not like every day, but if it's beneficial to our brains and how it would affect our brains.
So, like I said, there was a famous professor. I think he somewhere in California, but he passed away like several years ago. But he actually did
Drug overdose.
No, he did LSD a lot, and it was actually well known that he did it, and he did it to kind of expand. Because I guess they say like LSD, if taken the right way, does expand your thinking.
Well, that's the whole
and
Timothy
does-
Leary.
Yeah, Timothy Leary.
yeah.
Leary. Yeah, correct.
Well, he invented LSD, I believe. Timothy Leary.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, Timothy Leary was like an advocate for psychological
Right.
or psychedelic
Psychedelic,
drug use
yeah,
and
yeah.
for medicinal purposes and things like that.
Yeah, well, it's like steroids. Like people who take steroids responsibly and they're not professional athletes where they don't have to worry about being tested. You can cycle off and on that stuff for years responsibly and be healthy and have the gains that or the benefits of steroids versus the downside of steroids if you take it properly. So, I wouldn't say that with like PCP or heroin necessarily, but like me, yeah, maybe like LSD.
I'm not sure you're going to get jacked on PCP.
No.
It might be
Or-
just the
or-
opposite.
or
If
ba-
you want
or-
to lose some weight,
or bath salt, bath salt, like which is the cocaine and heroin combo, which I don't recommend that for anybody.
well, okay, so this scientist decided that he was going to do some testing and see, test people on LSD and then put them in an MRI to see how their actual
Well,
brains react.
Well, it's like I think it's called a PET scan because that actually picks up your brain waves and stuff. Like, so there's MRI, then there's it's called a PET scan. So they've
this
done
was an MRI.
okay.
Yeah, this was an MRI. He
right.
wanted to do the drugs, so he wanted to do a couple of things. He wanted to give you an MRI to scan your brain before you do anything,
Right.
while you're actually on the drug,
Yeah.
and then at intervals after you take the drug.
Yeah. Like a
Okay.
control group versus
Yeah.
placebo.
So-
So
This is I like this scientist though. He decided that he was going to get 8 people, okay, but he got 7 people and himself.
nice.
Okay, so he decided that it would be best to get those people and himself, and he started doing this test.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was awesome.
What
And
happened?
so here's what he found. And this is really this is wild. And the only reason I'm not 100% sure that this is cool is that he took the drug. But here's what he came up with. He said that the psilocybins, like kind of shrooms and that kind of stuff, can actually boost the plasticity of our brains and help us change and grow.
I believe that.
I
I
don't
believe
know,
that.
man.
Yeah.
I think it would have a lot more validity if it was not a guy who was taking the drugs.
Well, I remember growing up, like there was all those rumors about if you take acid, you can have a bad trip and then you become permanently like brain dead, or you can have stroke out, and then all that stuff, all those misnomers about acid.
Well, I'm
and
sure if you
things like
take
that.
too much of
But
anything.
but is acid LSD or is LSD something different?
Acid's the street term.
It's-
for
I think it's
LSD.
all
Oh,
kind
it's
of
the
the
same.
same stuff,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Because
It's
I've
called
never
acid.
I've ne-
LSD is acid.
Yeah, 'cause I've never seen it.
Psilocybins.
I've never
like
seen
booger-
acid or
Booger sugar. That's
Yeah.
cocaine.
okay, because I've never seen LSD.
Sugar.
I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to get it. But I mean, but I think if I was forced, if someone said, hey, you have to take one hard drug, and you got your choice, you got heroin, cocaine, LSD, PCP,
Or Crown Royal.
Let's not talk about Crown Royal.
Or 30 years of heavy drinking.
I would probably pick LSD because I mean, you don't want PCP. You don't want that shit in your system. You don't want that shit in your system.
Well, you don't want
think they're
anything
different.
that's
I think-
extremely addictive.
Yeah, I think PCP
You
and
might not-
LSD
you-
are very different.
Yeah, but you might not make it with PCP, man. So,
No, they're different though. I don't think they're the same thing.
yeah, but I mean, cocaine, heroin, PCP, LSD. I'll choose.
I think
I'll
there's a
choose-
lot of
There's
differences
narcotics,
between all
there's
those drugs. Yeah.
hallucinogens. Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
mushrooms.
You're just randomly saying
Yeah,
drugs.
But I'll just take LSD personally. If I was forced to pick one, that's just me.
You know what? Well,
just me.
so they came up with two main things. Number one, it can boost the plasticity, and it can LSD can actually make the Grateful Dead sound good.
Or
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah. Oh boy, both of them are. Man,
But not Dave Matthews Band.
actually,
I like Dave
I don't
Matthews
dislike Dave Matthews
I like
Band.
Dave Matthews
but
Band.
but Grateful Dead sucks. Their songs.
I've never liked them.
Their songs are terrible.
never liked
There's two songs every person my age knows, and
Is that
any
the
other
is
song
that shade
is
of
awful.
shade of gray, the
Shakedown.
something gray or
That's-
something, or
What? That's not the Grateful Dead.
There's a shakedown.
oh, I don't know. I don't know who it is though.
Yeah.
Is that
Not
Jerry
the song you're
Garcia?
thinking of. Yeah, geez, the worst,
Yeah.
the worst fucking band of all time.
I always thought Bob Dylan was a clusterfuck. I never liked that. I mean,
Listen,
someone's got.
as bad as Bob Dylan
I know
is-
he's got a hard on over
No,
that guy.
as
but
bad as Bob Dylan is, the
I
Grateful
love
Dead
Bob
is
Dylan.
1,000. So we went to that trip, went to a golf trip in Michigan, and Charles and I are driving together, and he had a little playlist, right, that we're listening to because he's driving, of like 5 straight Grateful Dead songs, and they're the 2 songs everybody knows, and the other 3 songs, honestly, were literally painful to listen to.
that's why I don't carpool with pool with people when I go on places because I don't want to listen to that shit.
You just carpooled. We just
Well,
carpooled
the
to the
song-
hot sauce.
But you guys
Expo.
are- you guys are normal.
like
You guys,
that
like,
song,
talk.
Shakedown.
You guys are talking.
Shakedown Street.
Shakedown Street. Oh, I think that's one of the 2 songs that are good.
Yeah,
that
you
and
said
Truckin'.
that's not the song.
No,
you
that's that song and Truckin'
and
are the
Touch
2.
of Grey.
Nope,
You
terrible
know
song.
that song.
Nope,
but that's
terrible
the
song.
only one Touch of Grays. That's the one I know.
Yeah.
Touch of Grey. So
Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Worst fucking song of all time. Makes me want to fucking puke.
wait, I thought the Eagles were the worst of all time.
Oh, the Eagles
Okay,
What
so-
about Casey Jones?
and the Sunshine Band.
Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. Trouble ahead, trouble behind.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, I'm thinking of a different song. I thought that was that song. Listen, there's 2 Grateful Dead songs that I can listen to. Yeah,
Okay.
and then the rest of them I would just rather be dead.
Well, good for you. That's
I'd
enough
rather
Grateful
listen
Dead
to
talk.
zero.
All right. I want to give a shout out to the worst person of all time. You guys ever heard of Joseph L. Owadis?
No.
Owadis? Something like that? Nope. Mark, know who he is?
No, I don't. But I'm
do
laughing
not?
at the pronunciation. I'm sure it doesn't.
Joseph, Owades. Owadis. Owadis. Yeah.
Okay.
This son of a bitch is the worst person. He's worse. I'll tell you right. He's Genghis Khan, right? He's terrible. Who else? Hitler. Ted knows Hitler's terrible.
Mussolini, Stalin,
Yep.
Tojo.
Yep. You know what this guy did? He invented light beer.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not nice.
He invented light beer.
For Miller or for what
Just,
company?
just the concept of
The
light
concept
beer.
of
Wait,
light beer.
so there's a
Okay.
beer. There's a beer with less alcohol in it
No, it's same amount of alcohol.
Oh, okay. Well,
Or
what's the,
I mean,
then what's the pro-
similar.
then what's the problem?
What do you mean?
Less calories.
Oh,
No, they have way less alcohol.
Does it?
Yeah, like Miller 64 has 2.4% alcohol.
What?
that's outrageous.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it had way more. Why was I so drunk then?
64s have 2.4%.
I've never had.
volume.
I've never in my life had a Miller 64.
I know,
would-
but,
I-
but
actually,
put,
I'd
put
rather
this in
not drink it.
perspective.
I tried one.
Like a Corona is 5%. That's twice as much alcohol as one of those. So most beers have somewhere around 4.7 to 5.2%.
And a Daisy Cutter is like 8.9 or 9.2.
Daisy Cutter's
How do you
not
know that?
No, it's not.
I've seen menus.
Daisy Cutter's not.
I've
that
seen menus.
I've seen bar menus.
high. No, Daisy Cutter's not that high. There's ones that are
Ted
higher.
Ted
is?
Reed's.
You want to
That's-
Google it?
Yeah, I guarantee you it's not. What did you say it was?
I'm gonna say 8.9.
No.
Or at least 9.0.
Not
Wait,
even
are you
close.
not doing that? You're not going to
No, it's like 6%.
Ted? Can you here? I'll tell you what. Why don't
A
you?
Daisy Cutter,
why
which
don't
is
you do
which is
that?
a very
And we will listen to a little
I'm googling this.
My Chemical Romance.
I usually don't Google
While
stuff,
you're
but just
doing
for
that.
you.
Oh, this is one of my.
because we talked about this on the show before, and you were corrected with the beer guy that was here,
Yeah,
and then we talked about it again,
Ted-
and you were corrected again.
Ted, you only drink beer when you don't drink. I love this song. And Ted's listening to the how
You
much
still can't find it. That's how long it's taking you to Google this. You just didn't put in Daisy Cutter alcohol percentage.
Ted.
I'm not smart as you,
My
Mark. It takes me a
Chemical
while.
That's really
My Chemical Romance has played their entire. I just played their entire album.
Alcohol Okay, I got it.
5.2%.
5.2. I was wrong.
Yeah.
wrong. I
No,
thought it was
I mean-
9.2.
I mean,
My
we-
bad.
Of course, you were wrong.
We
You're- at no
corrected
point-
you 4 times on this show in the last year
Then what's the
about
one
the
that was,
same thing.
What's the one that was 9.2? There's
Man,
because there is one that
Ted, I have 5 in my
There's
basement
like
that are over 9%.
bourbon barrel stuff.
The one that you had, the one I brought here, the bourbon barrel was over 9%.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of
I have double. I have double. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've got some that are 8%, 7%, 9%.
So there are beers that go. Is there a beer that goes over 10%?
yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. There are.
Oh.
There are. I don't understand.
There's
I don't
those
understand
whiskey
the
barrels
concept.
that there's
Yeah.
one that's like
Oh, I see.
that's way up there.
Yeah, yeah. The bourbon
He
barrel
brought
stuff.
I mean, what's his name from Beer on the Wall brought us one that was
Yeah.
high up there.
Yeah.
Like it was a 12% ABV or something like
Okay.
that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me because I feel like if you're drinking beer, you want to relax. You don't want a whole shitload of alcohol
Yeah.
like pushed into you, right? And you just want to kind of chill.
Some of them don't even you don't even know it. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah, like
They're not that heavy.
the shitty beers that Joseph L. Owades invented.
They have a high alcohol content.
No, they have light beer. He is the king of light beer.
Okay, what does this mean? Where are you going?
I'm
with
just
this?
I'm just angry that he did this to us because why do you need light beer? If you're drinking, why do you care how many calories there are?
Well, you know,
What
it could
do
get-
you care
it
what
could get
somebody else
worse.
drinks?
It could get worse. You could have non-alcoholic beer like O'Doul's
No.
or Sharps.
No, because
Choices-
there are,
worse.
Choices are good.
there are
Choices good.
places that you go where you can only get a light beer.
Don't go there.
You're talking about a, you're talking about a strip. You're talking about a strip bar.
No, we're
I
totally
agree.
shitting on Matt's thing here.
That happened.
No,
one
I'm
time.
I thought the concept
So
of
how
it
long ago was this that he came
was,
up with
it was
the
a
idea?
long time ago. He's dead. Yeah, he's long dead. We cannot hunt him down. We cannot kill him. He's already
Because remember, light beer became a thing with all the commercials, right? Miller.
all we need is
Wait,
one
wait,
pin,
there's
Rodney.
actually something worse than light beer. You know what that is? Modelo Clamato.
Yeah, that
Oh,
doesn't make any
man.
sense to me.
Oh man.
That doesn't. But I
That's
think
a
that's a
bad one.
cultural thing, though.
That's a
I
bad
think
one. Big
I-
time.
Yeah, that's a cultural
But
thing.
it's not necessarily that. I mean, drinking, like
Jesus Christ, Ted. How do you?
There's not that much in there.
There's not much. There's not much in the bottle anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, Modelo Clamato is
I
it's like a tomato juice.
yeah, it's nasty.
Beer.
But I do like a Bloody Mary with a beer chaser.
yeah. Yeah, well, actually, the best Bloody Marys, you will get it with a small beer chaser, usually some Miller High Life or
So
something.
I know somebody puts a little bit of Guinness in their.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we were somewhere where they dump like the Bloody Mary had a little bit of Guinness in it.
What?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was good.
Okay, well that brings me to this. One of the golf courses right by us, reopened. They're going to actually reopening up next week after 2 years of renovations, and they wanted to make some changes to their alcohol policy.
Can we guess the course?
Yeah, I think I told you about this. The course. It was Winnetka.
Oh yeah.
Winnetka Golf Club is reopening.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Waste Management Open.
No. Golf course by us is reopening, and they wanted to make some changes to their alcohol policy. Okay, and here was the big thing: They started serving beer at 9 a.m. and they wanted to start They do serve beer. They did serve beer at 9 a.m. They want to start serving beer at 7 a.m. Or alcohol. They want to start serving alcohol at 7 a.m.
Just bring your own.
Isn't that what 90% of people do?
Start drinking at 6 a.m. Let them start serving at 9. You're all set.
Well, no, they wanted to.
Transition.
They wanted the course to start serving at 7 a.m.
Good.
Okay.
What's the difference?
So I guess there was a bunch of people, I guess, in Winnetka, and I don't know the history of Winnetka, but there's a temperance movement that was very big in that area. Okay, it's just a shitty little suburb.
Isn't that where the Murrays are from? Bill Murray's from Winnetka.
Is it?
It's a nice.
It's a very nice
in,
suburb.
it's in the North Shore.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's affluent.
It's very
Really
affluent.
nice.
But
Winnetka's-
there was a temperance movement, I guess, way back in the day.
What, like 1800s?
I guess. and so they were talking about, what it was. And some of the people were just like, 9 and 7 and whatever. And they interviewed some of the board members. And one of the board members, I thought, had the greatest response to moving it up to 7 a.m. Okay? He said, I'm a golfer. So he knows golf. He says, and I know how important an early morning Bloody Mary can be to your game.
What?
That was his support of starting the drinking at 7
So the
a.m.
funny thing is, I
You know
remember-
how important it is.
I played with you. This is several years ago. We played a course called Orchard Valley out whatever the suburb it's in, and I think it was over Easter. So the clubhouse was actually closed in the morning, and I was so hungry. And they finally, so we finished the front nine. And they opened up the clubhouse by the time we finished it, and I did get a Bloody Mary, and God, that was so good because it's like breakfast in a cup.
After your round.
No, between after the front nine.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Not at 7 a.m.
Not 7 a.m. But the point is,
Was it important to your game? Did you? Well, hold on a second. Let me ask you
I was
this.
just hungry.
But did your Bloody Mary make you play better?
I don't recall that, but it did fill me up because I was starving. And a Bloody Mary is like breakfast in a cup, even without the alcohol part. Even if there was no vodka in it,
So wait a
it
minute.
still tastes good.
So wait a minute. You're starving. You're super hungry.
Hungry.
And
that's
instead
when he
of
gets
getting food,
alcohol.
you had a Bloody Mary.
I can't remember if there was any food available or not, but I do remember getting a Bloody Mary.
A granola bar, a bag of peanuts. There's all that stuff is there.
Bloody Mary.
You chose Bloody Mary.
I might have got something else with it, but I do distinctly remember getting a Bloody Mary, and it was good.
Wait, were you driving me that day, so I had to drive home?
No, I think we just met there.
Jesus Christ!
I don't think I've ever been back there.
We haven't let you back there.
I didn't need your permission, but no, I have no reason to go back there because it's like 50 miles away. So-
I think it's closed. I think that
Orchard
course
Valley's
is
closed now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is.
That's cool.
They're under renovation.
Oh,
and
well-
soon, Ted, you'll be able to get a Bloody Mary at 6 a.m. Yeah, they don't mess around. It's out in Aurora. They don't
Aurora
have
is
rules.
right, yeah.
They don't have rules. It's all kind of crazy shit. Yeah. It's just reckless and insane and stupid. Oh, is that your movie mention?
My movie mention.
All right, last thing. You guys know Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yeah, she's the governor of Arkansas.
She is the governor of Arkansas. What was she? She was Trump's
Press secretary.
Press secretary, right? Her dad is
Mike Huckabee. He's the governor. He was the former governor of Arkansas.
Yes.
Very conservative
And now
guy.
he is an author,
Children's book author?
children's book author. Yep, he is a children's book author. He actually has a series of kids books, and he just released a new one. And this is a must read, absolutely must read for every single child. In fact, I'm sure it's going into every Christmas, birthday, everything. It's the Kid's Guide to President Trump. You ready? The 2024 edition.
That's good.
Yep. Yeah, that's what he wrote.
I want to get that.
Kid's book about Donald Trump.
Wow.
What do you think you could say?
It's called an indoctrination.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you make enough
Obviously.
money, you could just grab him in the pussy.
You can do anything you want.
Do whatever you want.
Kids, I want you to focus on this one thing. This is what you get out of this book. That's what the epilogue or the introduction. If you make enough money, you can do anything. And the kids are like, you mean like be president? No. Better. You mean like be rich? No. Way better than that. No. Don't even think about that kind of stuff, kids. Yeah. I want you to think about a lot of other
Aim
things.
high.
Yeah.
Aim higher.
Aim way higher. I want you to think of every person as your personal victim. Every single person is your personal victim. Okay. So I guess in the book, I didn't get a chance to read the whole book, right? Because it's a little difficult. So Huckabee has this little deal where you get the book for free, but you sign up for like printing or handling. Was that postage and handling?
Shipping and handling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then automatically you're clicked on this little deal where you are now automatically enrolled. So once you put your credit card in,
Yeah. You're obviously on a mailing list somewhere. Yeah,
and
for sure.
No,
but
you're getting charged.
You get charged, and what he does is every time he writes a new book, you're automatically charged for it. And he
It's
sends
like
it
that
to
CD club Ted joined.
you. Oh, Columbia! Remember that?
Yeah.
The Columbia CD thing
I
Yeah,
vaguely
you got
recall
like
that.
50 CDs for free.
for free,
For a penny. No, they had to charge you. It was like a penny.
a penny,
Yeah.
and then you had to buy like just
It's just
9 more
auto-renew.
CDs at $40 each.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it was great. Okay, so I guess part of this is, and he's got a whole thing in there. The kids are going to learn how to grab a woman by the pussy, right? And you're also going to learn what a convicted felon is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's updated. He wrote it originally in 2020, and I guess it didn't sell very well. But now he's got the updated version. Yeah.
How to start an insurrection and get away with it?
Yeah. So I mean, I think that'd be a really cool book to read to your
Well,
kids.
I mean, he's probably going to pardon himself if he wins the presidency, so it doesn't
there
really
is
matter.
no way he's going to get away with that.
Well, actually, he doesn't even have to pardon himself. I think the Supreme Court is going to it's going to get to the Supreme Court, and they're going to toss it. That's what I think. They're going to
What
toss
is
it.
junk? There is no way.
They're tossing it.
They're going to toss his junk?
There is no way.
It's
But
being
that
tossed.
wouldn't that be a great bedtime story to read to your kids? Right?
Is it like the Giving Tree?
Yeah. No, it'd be like,
Or
Daddy, read me the part about Pedophile Island again.
or
That's my
what-
favorite.
what's the most famous children's books? Like The Giving Tree and Where the Wild Things Are, right? With the little monsters in the room, the kids in his PJs, he's in that onesie PJ. And the, and
No,
the,
Good Night Moon.
Well, Mike
the
Huckabee has
monsters-
better ones.
Oh,
Mike Huckabee has better ones. He wrote a couple other books. The Kid's Guide to Socialism. Yep. That's what every kid wants, right? Every kid wants to learn about socialism.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are like almost there, right? We pay taxes.
That's
no, if it was socialism.
The Kid's Guide to Media Bias and Fake News. These are real books for, I guess, real children. Yep.
I mean, most news today is opinion journalism. It's not actually objective journalism, right? So we
These
can
are
agree.
kids' books,
We can
Ted.
agree on that.
You ready? Here's my favorite one. This is my favorite one. The Kid's Guide to Free Speech and Cancel Culture.
Wokeism.
Yeah.
Wokeism.
Yeah. Is that awesome?
Yeah.
I start to think about.
He's written a lot of books, apparently.
He has. I mean, and
Prolific
you're in
author.
it. But it's just so weird to me that if there's anybody on the planet would read this, right? So I'm looking this up and I'm like, who actually reads this? Okay. And I guess this book is in a lot of Catholic schools and his books are one of the number one books in all for homeschooling parents. It's
That makes
bought
sense.
for that.
That makes sense. I can see that.
That's scary shit.
Isn't that creepy?
Yeah.
That doesn't. It bothers the shit out of me. You know, it just bothers the shit out of me that he's got a platform, and that people are buying this stuff.
But you know, all it takes is really one person to just who's a motivated operator, as some people are. So remember George Carlin, a comic who was ahead of his time back in the day.
I think he was right during his time.
Oh, he was way ahead of his time during the day. So, but he basically said, "I'm not worried about the guy sitting on the couch, playing with himself, watching
I
the
knew you were gonna say
watching
this.
a TV game show. He's not motivated. I'm worried about the guy who's motivated. That's the guy I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the guy sitting on
Guy
his
was writing
couch.
kids' books.
Worried about that guy. Don't worry about the guy sitting on his couch,
Children's Guide to
jerking off, watching Wheel of Fortune. Don't worry about that guy.
stopping
that guy,
drag shows.
He didn't mean Mike Huckabee. He's a has-been.
Mike Huckabee is ahead of his time.
He's a has-been.
Is he a has-been?
No, George
Guys,
Carlin was ahead of
Dude,
his time.
the kid, he's got
But he's not motivated to do any harm. He's motivated to teach kids.
to teach kids
Yeah.
about
His way.
media bias
His
and
way.
fake news. How do
According
you
to
even
him.
describe? How do you even describe that to a kid?
The way, I mean, come on.
Actually, I want to get his
The
book.
way
I
you
want to see how
want
he
them
does it.
to-
I want to see how he does it. I want to see what his
I know.
indoctrination
I do
process.
kind of. I do kind of want
What's
to
his
read it.
indoctrination process? I'd like to see that.
So
It's got to be very subtle, right? Because it can't be like too in your face. Because it's for a like, what's his target audience? Like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old?
no, it's got to be for little kids. These
Little
are
kids.
little kids' books. Yeah, and I couldn't. The only problem I couldn't
eight-year-olds-
find for
eight-year-olds-
free, I
eight-year-olds?
couldn't find any of the books. I mean, I looked, but I mean, I'm sure there's somebody reading it on YouTube. I'm sure,
Yeah.
but yeah. But I
Oh,
thought,
William Shatner's doing the reads.
dude, William Shatner and Mike Huckabee. You walk into a bookstore, okay? You walk in, or you get online at Amazon. You type in kids' books, and you see Mike Huckabee and William Shatner, and you're pressing buy.
Wait. Why can't we just write a kid's book?
Ted, we
did.
talked about writing a kid's book.
We had ideas.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Touchy the clown.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember Touchy?
Feely the juggler.
What was my kid's book? I forgot.
I think it was Robbie and his new
No.
windowless van.
Free puppies for all. Just come here.
Yeah. Do you like candy? I have lots of candy in my back seat.
Hey, just ignore the syringe, kid. It's gonna be all right.
It's still one of my favorite jokes, right? The guy and the kid are walking to the scary forest, and the kid goes, "Mister, I'm scared." He goes, "How do you think I feel? I got to walk out of here by myself."
See, that's not funny.
That's not funny at all. Are you
That bottle's endless.
It's got an end now.
There's nothing in here. Don't
No,
worry
there
about it.
is more.
Oh my God! You know what I want to do? This is why I want video for this, because I want people to see the look on Ted's face after when he just that's a gallon of Crown, right? So we just finished about a quarter. We just finished a quarter.
No,
Crown.
there wasn't that much in there.
There was a decent amount in
He's
there.
lying.
Just to see the look on his face.
I know.
Just to see the look on his face when he's had, like when we walk, like when he's drinking on the golf course, and then we go into the bar and he gets a couple of doubles, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, Teddy, why are you getting doubles? No, I'm not gonna be here very long. I'm only gonna be here long enough for him to get my food to go.
I sound like the outlaw Josie Wales.
Yeah.
You do. We were
Or Unforgiven.
That's my pretend Ted voice.
Unforgiven.
No, we went out after
Clint Eastwood.
golfing on Sunday. Me, Jack, and Ted. And Ted goes, I need a double. And I was like, oh man. Don't you want to talk? Don't you want to sit with us and just talk a little bit? You're like, no. He goes, I want to order some food to go, and
pay for the tab.
yeah, and I want to pay for it, which we asked you never to do again.
Oh, I think you paid for it. I think if I got my credit card, I think you covered it. I didn't get any food to go last time.
No, because you didn't have your credit card. You know you did.
Yeah, I left it in my golf bag.
Yeah. You know, if you did, you would have gotten like everything to go. Where'd you stop after you left?
Where did I stop?
White Castle, Taco Bell.
No, I think I just went home and had salad. I didn't.
Bullshit.
No.
Wow.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
How do you make a salad?
But I had
Ted?
Chipotle.
No, it's a trick
it was
question.
prepackaged salad, prepackaged with ranch dressing. And then I did get Chipotle the other day. It was really good. I haven't had Chipotle in a while because my kid wanted Chipotle, so I had to
hate
stop.
Chipotle.
I hate Chipotle.
I got a bowl. I got the carne asada bowl.
It's always cold.
No, this was warm.
What?
It was good.
Their tacos, burritos are always cold.
Yeah.
They don't heat them up enough. The tortillas are always like they heat them up in like 3 seconds. They put them in a thing, 3 seconds, and they put your fillings on it. Then they put all the shit on it. By the time you get it, it's like
They don't have a freezer and they don't have a microwave. How do they heat it up in 3 seconds? I know. I saw the commercial. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
No,
they could
I'm
have
saying-
10, they could have
okay,
10
I'm not saying
microwaves
it's
and 100
cold.
freezers.
I'm just saying it's not warm. It's not hot food. It's not hot. I've never had a taco there that's hot.
I don't know. I've only been at Chipotle like 3 or 4 times.
Well,
don't
I mean,
like
most of the ingredients are cold. Like if you figure the tomato salsa is cold, the lettuce is cold, the guacamole
Yeah,
is
but
cold,
if I
the
go,
cheese is
I mean,
cold.
I go to Don Juan's or I go to a Mexican restaurant, my food is fucking piping hot. It's
You know what?
awesome.
I had Don Juan's for the first and only time, and honestly, it was okay. But you know what? I wasn't in love with it.
What'd you order?
Just some type of bowl.
A double crowning.
Yeah,
A
whatever.
bowl?
Yeah, a bowl. You know,
They
just
don't
get a
have
bowl.
any bowls there.
They had a bowl. So
What? They don't have bowls at Don Juan's.
what's the not the carne asada, but the what's the seasoned pork? I can't think. What's the name of the seasoned pork?
Yeah.
You know the one.
Barbacoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's beef.
Baba Booey? Is that
What?
what you said?
I have no
beef.
idea. I don't eat that shit. All right.
Or like carnitas?
Carnitas, yeah. Something
Wait,
like
isn't
that.
that
No,
that's
the,
a
this, no, the seasoned pork.
No, carnitas is There's
Yeah.
2 types of seasoned pork. There's carnitas.
It's like the newer one that came out.
Yeah, it's the most pop. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
Whatever,
carnitas.
whatever,
No, I mean
whatever.
that's what it is.
you're drinking.
it all tastes the same. So
Carnitas has been around forever, but it's
no,
like,
it's not carnita. It's not carnitas. And it's not a carne
Man,
asada.
I can't do this. We had 2 weeks off.
What's the name of it?
Almost everyone we know in politics is almost died.
It's
And you guys are
amazing.
talking about fucking carnitas.
Well, because this is more important than the presidential election.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
It doesn't really mean. Obviously, it doesn't matter who's president, right?
Thinking
Because
of
obviously
Al
we can tell.
Pastor?
Al Pastor, the Al
Pastor,
Pastor, yeah.
yeah.
So obviously, it doesn't matter who the president is, right?
Nope,
That's what
doesn't
we've
matter.
included. So it doesn't matter if Trump gets elected, or Joe Biden stays in office, or Kamala gets elected, right? Because it's just going to be their staff that's making all the decisions, right? So, right?
Well, again, the president doesn't just wake up every day and decide what to do.
Well, apparently the president.
That's the king. The king does that.
Apparently, this time the president doesn't wake up until at least 11 o'clock
Jesus.
in the morning.
Christ.
and he goes to bed at 5. So
Ted, he's 80-something years old. Of course he goes to bed at 5. It's scary at night.
He's up from 5 to 5.
So the funny thing is, like, the number one thing they always say about the president is, like, can he or she answer the phone call at 3 in the morning? And my answer is, if somebody called me at 3 in the morning, I would answer the phone. I mean, who the fuck's calling me at 3 in the morning? I'm like, who's this?
Well, it's because you're up because you never sleep.
I never sleep. Yeah, but the point is, that's who should be the president. Like, some guy who doesn't sleep. Like, who the fuck's calling me at 3 in the
Wait,
morning?
Some psycho who's drunk from the night before, who's up at 3 o'clock in the morning for no reason on his phone. That's who you want to answer the phone.
Wait, the North Koreans are coming into the DMZ? Okay, I'm right there. Hang on. I'm getting the staff together.
Oh my God! All right,
That's what the president should be.
oh man, you know what? 2 weeks off is too long.
Shit show.
It just lets Ted think too much, way too much. All right, let's last thought this. Ted, you can go first since you're gonna finish the bottle of Crown. All right,
I
Mark.
don't have anything to say.
That's why.
I'm flummoxed.
That's
I'm
why
flummoxed.
this segment's no good.
Yes.
The last thoughts? What are you
Yeah.
talking about? Ted has to have a thought.
I never know what to say.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody cares who the president is. That's my last thought. Like, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter who wins, right?
You know what? I
the end of the day?
think it only works for the people who don't like the president, so they have
Yeah.
something to complain about.
It was so political today. Yeah, then
I
I'll
mean,
say go vote.
So just real quick, they're spending. I think one side, I can't remember who it is spending at least $2 billion on the election. So just think about the $2 billion that you're spending to try to win the presidency. You could use that $2 billion to help the American people, but you don't because it's more about your ego, about you getting elected. So it's
Dude,
really
you
not.
sound like a socialist.
No, but I'm saying it's not about the people. So I'm just saying you're spending $2 billion because this party wants to be in charge. Why can't you just take $2 billion and build some fucking infrastructure or
See?
whatever you've been talking about for the last 10 years?
You're a socialist.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So
Ted, I feel like it kind of defeats everything you've been saying.
I suppose, but but the point is, think about the copious amounts of money being spent to just elect a certain person or party to this position they're going to be in for maybe 4 years tops. Right?
Maybe if they last that long.
If they last that long, yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't believe that.
It's just silly.
That's coherent. That is despite
Just saying.
all the alcohol you've been
just saying.
drinking. That's a very coherent thought.
I'm just saying.
All right, Mark. Last thought. This, even though you don't know what to say.
Yeah. No, I'm speechless right now. I'm watching Ted.
Yeah, I'm amazed because Ted doesn't seem like Ted hasn't been the most helpful guy, like to other people. He's just like screw other people. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. We're spending a ton of money, though. What they are spending a ton of money to have that little bit of power, so that they can do what
for a limited period of time.
Well,
Yeah.
Ted's right. I mean, when you think about it, the needs of just this country alone, okay, the needs that this country has. I mean, with kids starving, we have people living in the streets, and it seems like money solves everything, right? I mean, money can help these situations.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're spending $2 billion on an election.
How much?
And I mean, and that money, I mean, but when we need money for this or that, it's not there. But all of a sudden, here's $2 billion to
Yeah.
get this person elected, or
Or-
here's $2 billion to run TV ads.
Or $60 billion to get to Ukraine, which is money down the drain because we know.
Wow, that's not where I was
mean,
going with this.
We hate to say it. I mean, I hate to say it, but it doesn't matter how much money you give Ukraine because at the end of the day,
it's
Russia.
still the Ukraine.
Why did you? What are you doing right now? You're done.
No, I'm just
This
saying.
is my
Yeah.
final thought. I don't understand what the hell's
you
fucking going on
You
here.
have a final thought. I'm sorry.
He's final
I'm
thought.
talking now. Somehow you're on your Ukraine.
I'm done.
Ted, you already had your final thought. This is like I don't
sorry.
know.
You're a nut job, dude. You are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mark. I'm
No, but
sorry.
it doesn't.
No,
it-
I'm done. You railroaded me now. I'm already been railroaded.
Ray
Railroaded. I was railroaded.
Ray.
And I have nothing to drink. I had nothing to drink.
you had some kind of green thing from Dunkin' Donuts. What was that?
Fucking horrible, dude.
What was it?
I wanted refreshers. I was so thirsty on the way here. I didn't want. I've been drinking water all day, and I need something besides water. And I stopped there and got one of these refreshers, and it's just all fucking sugar.
Yeah, some kind of green shit from Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I looked that up. It's like, it's just
Terrible. Don't do that. There's
first and last. Yeah,
yeah.
you live and you learn. That's why there's a third of it left.
yeah.
I diluted it with the
that's
water
one of
you
the,
gave me.
That's one of the things that you got to make sure you understand. If you go to Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah, it's shit.
it's bad for you.
Except for the croissants.
Everything at Dunkin'
Ted,
Donuts.
you had a croissant.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it later. It's about 30 packs. So that big coffee colada, that's basically drinking 20 packs of sugar.
Yeah.
So congratulations. So
Yeah, this had like 55 grams of sugar in it or something.
Yeah, don't drink that shit. All right, so my last thought before, and it's great to be back. It was weird not doing this show for 2 weeks, especially when everything is happening, and you're just like, man, what the fuck? You want to talk about all this stuff?
Did you miss it?
I did. You know what? I honestly do. I honestly do. I've got a lot of cool stuff in the hopper. I have no idea if anybody's going to say yes to anything that I've done, but I would love it. We got a lot of kind of big time people that I'm hitting up. Still, no Obama.
Get Rob Blagojevich if you can.
So I told you that he's friends. He went to our buddy Pete that was on the show.
Oh.
He went to Pete's wedding. Rod Blagojevich was at Pete's wedding.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice.
Does that blow your
That's
mind a
pretty
little
cool.
bit?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That blows my mind.
Before he was governor.
Before he was governor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was an
I was at a
alderman,
wedding with J.B. Pritzker before he was governor.
Let me ask you this: did he double dip everything?
I didn't see him eat.
If you didn't see him eat, then you weren't. He wasn't really there.
He was there.
Get
was
J-
there.
get JB
I
on the
talked
show.
to him. He was there. He was a nice guy.
Did you really talk? You talked to J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kelly went to his Super Bowl party.
To J.B. Pritzker's
Yeah,
Super Bowl
he lived
party.
across street from her friend. Her friend.
Was there any bathrooms there? Any toilets at all in the house?
This is 25 years ago.
Okay, so he's buying houses with toilets. Listen, that joke is only
Well,
funny.
it's not a joke. You know that really happened.
Yeah,
Right?
it's only funny if you're from Illinois
Yeah.
and you know that our governor, who's a billionaire, tried to screw over the taxes by tearing out. He said he didn't live in his house. He tore out all the toilets,
So we didn't have to pay property taxes.
so he
on
wouldn't
the
have to pay
house.
property taxes. Yeah. Listen. If you want to know how
That's,
to be rich,
that's called gamesmanship.
yeah. If you want to know how to be rich, that's how you beat the tax
Well,
man.
I'm just saying rich people didn't get to be rich by being stupid. So just remember that.
Nope, just by not being able to take a shit anymore.
or expanding the rules to their furthest possible horizons.
Man, it always is. All right. Thanks for listening. We're glad to be back. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and we will see everybody if Ted stops drinking Crown next week.